Now, hello everyone! Mega love shout out to you guys. Thank you for coming in tonight. Hello Sis Waray, kamusta po? Oops, what happened? You there?
Yeah, I'm here. I am here.
We have a topic tonight. Shall I put on our
There's a big delay too.
big delayed in
Yeah,
your end?
yep.
Mm,
Maybe that cured it.
I don't know.
Oh, that's it. I had an echo. That's why
You had an echo now?
it's gone.
Oh good. Nobody is here. We'll make a love shout out to the 3 million viewers in there. You guys are free to comment. How are you, everyone? Welcome. Okay, to highlight
Well, at
it.
least this
Uh,
time I'm not on my phone, so nobody's got to worry about me timing them out.
oh boy. Jason the Ghost Hunter. Hello, Jason. Make a love shout out to you. Thank you for coming in. How are you? Do you know this Jason the Ghost Hunter? I bet I met him at Shina. Sheena at Sheena's Live. Hello, how are you doing, Jason the Ghost Hunter? Mega love shout out to the 4 million viewers in the house. They're good. Oh, glad to know that. Hello, Sissy Jane. Oh, thank you po sa pa-ads. Hello, Team Richard the BG King from Mommy Ads. Hello, Mommy Ads.
Good evening. Yeah,
Like, thank you, Sissy Jane, for liking. Hey, Jason from Mommy Ads. Sometimes, oh, I haven't visited Jason's channel already. He tell the stories about ghosts. He and his wife, they go to a certain places and they know the story about it and he uploaded it on his premiere. Genti ang gwapa gabi ko nimo kanina. Oh,
J Mike.
hello J Mike,
And
mega love shout out. Hi Jen from Jason. How are you everyone doing? Ma'am Yads, kumusta yung ano mo, yung getaway mo pagpunta sa Simala? She go to a Simala church. She went to Simala church. Naaman dito ang chismoso. Who is chismoso? Jemai Yahoo! Hi again. Sino chismoso, Ma'am Yads? Bakit wala ako alam? Mega love shout out to the 6 million viewers in the house. J Mike, thank you for coming in. Hello, Sisi Honeybee. Okay, kayo. Thanks, pray for all of you. Thank you, Mami. Ang lagi Sisi. Sige, badlong. Napayato
Oh,
na mo. Hi,
she's
Jay.
going or she's already there at church?
She went to this morning. And she is
Oh,
back to, yeah.
well
Sino
then,
yun, sis Jean? Jean and Angel sent me. Oh, thank you. Honeybee Guapa, sis Mary. From Mamias. Mega love shout out to the 7 million viewers in the house.
yeah, Zamodia must have been a good girl this week. She wasn't in confession that long.
One day compassion, one week being good girl, Mamias. She is good everything, right? Hello, Sarah. How are you doing? Brother J. Mike Salamat from Sis Jen. Isisiyad, Sir J. Mike from Sis Mary May. Make a love shout out to the 8 million viewers in the house and there. Oh, we have a topic today, guys. It says, hello, Honeybee. Hello, Sarah from J. Mike. How are you doing, Sarah? You haven't heard of what happened before going to Simala. I can't stay. Oh, it's okay, J. Mike.
Thank you
Thank you
for
for
coming
dropping
in
by.
anyways, hey Mike.
Hmm. You haven't heard of what happened before going to Simala. Like, what is. There was last night. What do you mean, yes, Amodia Vlogs? Simala
Oh,
is a church.
she must
I
have
don't
got it out
know.
of her system before she went to church. Did you yell at that person in the mirror?
I don't know. Did you yell, Momians? Don't think she yelled. She don't yell.
No, she don't yell.
She don't yell.
She just
Her
changes
yeah.
the tone of her voice.
Yeah, with the diction.
Yep.
Ricky drama.
Oh,
I
don't let it bother
only
you.
I only Nobody sent me the link. I wasn't sub to that guy. I only watched the Popeye premiere. Hmm. Ricky drama. What happened to him now, Mom? Has any latest status? He took it down. Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Popeye took it down? Why?
No, not Popeye.
Richard.
Ricky.
Ricky. Good
Yeah.
evening, CCTV and Richard. Hello, Ate Debs. Thank you for coming
Hello,
in. Maybe
Deborah.
he's having a heart attack. Oh, Mommy Yans, he is having a heart attack. Wow, that sounds good.
Deborah, you don't have to worry this time. I'm not on my
I see.
phone. I promise I'll be good.
Oh my god, I the bro rattle from J Mike. Yeah, the Debsy is not on his phone. Just
I
laughing.
really am truly sorry for that, Deborah.
Like, thank you, Ate Debs. It's funny. My god. Don't worry, Richard. Yeah, I told you. She's not.
Yeah,
It
it's
doesn't
just a
get her. She knows.
yeah, but I don't like those kind of mistakes when I'm in somebody's live.
You did not do it. It's an accident, so it cannot consider as mistake.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Richard from Auntie Debs. Yeah, and how can you tell if a person is open-minded? Do you have an answer to that, Richard? By the way, I am at Sir Terry's living room, and his piano is not working.
Needs to be tuned.
Sir Terry, I cannot play your piano. It's out of tune. Auntie Deborah is an open-minded person, so she doesn't take that much personal.
Open minded or easygoing?
I don't think no. She's an open-minded. She understands. Not every easygoing person is an open-minded.
No.
No. Hello, system. Naiwan na naman ako sa live mo from Sis Honeybee. How are you guys doing today? See, you did not answer to our question today, to our topic. How can you tell if a person is open-minded?
I just had it on the tip of my tongue and then you started talking and I lost it. Oh my gulai.
That's not an open-minded. That's skeptical. That's selective.
No, that's hearing.
Yeah. You don't want to get involved to it, just skip it. That's skeptical. Hindi ako nakapunta sa live ni Ate Deborah. Na busy ako kanina. Did you manage to go to Ate Deborah's live, Richard?
I caught about 5 minutes of the ending,
Oh,
but I did hit the thumbs up for her, so
yeah. And you did not let her know that you are there.
no, I didn't want to ruin her live.
That's why. Is Ricky the guy who blasts everyone in his live stream? Is
Yes,
Ricky, is he? Oh,
yep.
I think. Oh, okay. Because I am not sub to that person. What is his YouTube name?
I don't know. I'm not sub to him neither. I don't get into a bunch of that drama. But
Yeah,
apparently, that drama brings a lot of people into your live stream. So,
I yes, Jay from Yes. Oh, I only know him when if somebody sent me the link of him, and that is his video about asking Mom Yaz to take down her interview with Mama, and another time, I think 2 times, but I did not sub to his channel. So he's still in Cebu. I have to. Oh, if it so bad, I did not see that drama. I should have watched that. Momia said maybe he is having a heart attack. I would like to see that though. Hmm.
what? See the poor guy have a heart attack? Come on.
The reason of his heart attack, okay? That's what makes me curious. Not him
Oh,
having a heart attack.
it's him getting all wound up over small things.
Well, don't give me the meaning of well. I already
Oh,
know that.
that's a deep subject for shallow minds.
Yeah,
Well,
well, yeah. This well is deep. How are you guys doing? I want to know the reason why he has a heart attack. But if he took it down, I cannot see it anymore. What is his YouTube channel name, Mamias? Make a love shout out to the 7 million viewers in the house. After the confrontation, I want to Simala to confess my sins.
uh,
Mami Yans. Kumusta kaibigan? Magandang gabi sa'yo, Tamsak Harangdan. Thank you, kaibigan J3. Kumusta ka po? Oh my God, this is the best thing. You see? Okay lang, kaibigan. Well, good to know. Thank you po sa patamsak at harang. Really, Ma'am Yats, did you confront him personally? Oh, wow. Musta kaibigan Yats from J3? Hi J3, magandang umaga kaibigan from Ma'am Yats. When are you going back to Philippines, J3? Joanne Jenny Journey.
check your private.
Private message? I cannot find it.
StreamYard side.
Okay. Salamat Sisi Honeybee, nakikinig. Thank you Sisi Honeybee pa sa pakikinig. Asawa ko will be coming here to the States before I go back. Wow! When is that, J3? Good for you. Ate Debs, hindi ako nakapunta sa ano mo. Bawi na lang ako bukas po. Happy for you, J3. In case you want to join, ah. Put it on pin. Walang CCTV, no worries. Yan, na-busy ako kanina kasi nakatulog ako ng hapon. I slept for 2 hours in the afternoon. And now, I haven't took that medicine yet. I'm still trying to wake up. Oh, I know someone every morning has the same that feeling, J3. Wake up. but not getting up. Or get up but not awake. Being open minded is being open to constructive criticism and believes there is always room for improvement. Yeah. This is what we have something in common. Mommy had said I get some coffee kaibigan. True right, Mommy ads. But you know what, sometimes, especially if somebody sent you a message and if they ask you, are you an open-minded? And when you reply them yes, oh, expect the unexpected.
I expect the unexpected. Huh?
Yeah. If they ask you, are you an open-minded? And when you reply yes, oh gosh, you'll be surprised. I'm about to finish my first cup, still not awake.
I know that feeling very well.
Yeah. E.T. That's networking strategy. Yeah, right, mommy ads. They will ask you, are you an open minded? And if you reply yes, oh, there it is. Hi, E.T., my friend. Mommies, have you watched E.T. short video? He sing a song for you. He cannot get over climbing that jackfruit tree. And he said, what am I doing at 3 a.m.? I don't know what you're doing at 3 a.m., E.T. You're singing. He's singing his heart out for mommy ads
Yeah.
in his short video. He is so funny. Yeah, cheeky. Cheeky, E.T. Did you watch his opening door? It has 1K views. It's like, what is he doing? I watched it a few times and then, oh gosh, he is scaring himself. That's why I love him. Oh, yes. Oh my god, E.T. Okay, I changed my avatar. What? Morning, E.T. From Joe and Jenny Journey. He opened his door. Timmy and Richard from Steve. Hello,
Morning,
Steve.
Steve.
Thank you for coming in. JJJ from ET. ET from
Good
Steve.
evening, Easy.
Mhm. ET, we have a topic, right? How can you tell if the person is open minded?
If they're willing to consider new ideas or arguments and being unprejudiced or impartial, open
Mm,
to new ideas.
yeah, open minded. How open your open mind is?
Depends what the new idea is.
Oh,
And are you willing to be unprejudiced about that idea?
mhm. Agreed with that, Richard from J3. Yeah. You able to Timmy,
That's
take
like
him back
that's
to your
like
village.
being a referee to an argument. You got to stay open and hear both sides of it,
Yup,
and don't make no judgment call.
true. Timmy, take him back to your village. The answer will be there. Yeah, right? We can see if he is open minded if I take him to my village, right?
And you have no idea.
Yeah. How about you, E.T.? How can you tell that the person is an open minded? Pride, flower, rainbow, heart. What devs emoji, custom emoji. Open minded is listening to everyone's point of view, but you don't have to accept it as your own beliefs. True, still.
Exactly.
You're willing to open. I was brought up in the village. Oh, I was born and brought up in the village. Hi, Leon. Leon, how are you, Leon? Yeah. Did you able to catch Leon's live, Richard? His
He
live
goes,
stream is my sleeping time.
and it's my working time. I don't
That
catch
is
everybody's
time
lives.
difference.
Of course, I don't get notifications during the day for some of them.
Yeah, that's why when you get home, your phone went nuts of
Yep.
notifications. Deborah, the yellow heart of Steve to Ate Debs.
Come on, Steve, change that yellow to red.
Mm,
Get with the program. Be open minded.
Take them back sa probinsya, kaibigan. Many don't like the probinsya, they prefer the city. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, they prefer the city life. But you know what? Half of my life I spent in the city, and that's how. That's where I appreciate my place in the village.
Yep.
Still from Atedem. That's where I appreciate my life in the countryside. The moment. Then small town then to this big city, totally different and have to adapt and learn with eyes open. Now you can see I'm so cheeky and naughty. Really, E.T.? Richard, I'm still is laughing to you, Richard. See what did you say? E.T. said he is cheeky and naughty.
Oh,
It is
we all
laughing
know
here.
that.
Yeah. I prefer sa probinsya, kaibigan. Oh, right, J3. In the province, you don't have to worry about anything. I don't know.
No, it's a calmer way of living.
Yeah,
You
in the
don't have to
province.
deal with a lot of the noise, a lot of the people running around and always in a go mode.
Rush mode.
Yep.
You don't have to worry about rush hours, traffics, because in the city, there's always traffic.
That's no lie.
Traffic, traffic, traffic. Not as many pickpockets. Haha. Haha. Oh, you know what I do believe in the province is that when you left your stuff in this certain area, someone will keep it, and then the moment you look for it, it's just right there. Or somebody will come to your house and hey, you left your stuff in there. I showed up to leave, just to leave a like, hello, and to support. See you soon, pals. Have a great streaming, Timmy. Thank you, Claudio, for coming in. Hey, Claudio from Mommy Ads. Thank you, Claudio. The thing that we don't have in the province is the thief. How about coming to my live stream? Yan? Thank you, Leon. Net Sports Vlog. Hello, Richard and Lucy. Ay, shucks, Ate Nets. Is this you?
Ah, and the ghost appears.
Ah, this is what we talked, right? Who is
Yep.
Net Sports Vlogs? Now we know who you are. Hello, Daitimi. Hello, Regilen. How are you, How are you, Reg? Greetings all from Richard. No new owner. Oh,
Oh, good for you.
and I am subscribed to her. 10.4K subscribers. Yeah, and I saw her face now. Yeah.
I'm already subscribed to that.
Yes, I'm already subscribed. Sports Insight, I'm handling her channel for a while. Oh, okay. Hi, Reg. Hello, Sisnet. All good po, mga gwapa from Regeline. Long time I haven't seen you, Regeline. Hello, Azely from Regeline. Love you, Net from Sir Leon. Hello, Mamias from Atenex. Remember the time when we are all there at Atenex lives and doing silly stuffs.
Those were good times.
Yeah. Where is that channel of yours now, Atenex? Eto, is this your channel still? You just changed the name? She missed YouTube. Oh. MMLSO from Leon. Hi, Mom Net from Regiline. Because I searched her channel, I cannot find it anymore. Isn't that sports vlogs? Oh, Regiline, how are you? Thank you, J3, for staying. Hello, Leon Live from Regiline. Well, Rich, thank you for coming in. Huh? Leon. In what way you can tell a person is an open-minded? Mhm. Easy to tell, right, Richard?
Oh, it's not always easy to tell.
Not always easy. This is my channel. I'm the one handling Net's channel. You are most welcome in Daitimi. Hi everyone in the chat from Leon. Leon, in case you want to join the stream, Madison Pin. Yeah, Net, we are already subscribed to your channel. Now I know who's this. Reg, hello from Athens.
The link is up at the top if anybody would like to come up.
Mm-hmm. Tomorrow is Sunday. It's day off day to everybody, but it's not my day off tomorrow. Still working.
There you go, cussing again. The four
Yeah,
letter word that is a demon.
demon.
Yeah, WORK.
Work. You don't have to go to work, 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 work. Leon from Athens. Leon. Timmy, I'm going to later. Run will be in BG. Okay, Janie, J3, thank you so much. How open minded do you want? I sometimes don't agree too, but can compromise. Life is not all fair and square because the world isn't really round. The world isn't really round, but the globe is round. I don't know why they said the world is round. Who said that?
Nothing
Would
can be
Netflix,
truly round.
yeah, okay. Would Neth like to see my face? Oh, sure, she is,
Yes,
Leon.
come on up, Leon. We always enjoy your presence.
Yes, always, and we miss hanging around with you guys. Before, I always join Atinet's live streaming, but since Sir is working from home, so I cannot able to join her live streaming anymore. You're right, Et. You cannot agree, but you can listen, right? We don't have to agree, we just have to listen. And we cannot ask people to, hey, listen to me, agree to what I say. No,
That's where my
not
selective
all the
hearing comes
time.
in.
All right, I know that, right? I have experienced that. That I know, you have an open minded because you still.
Yeah, I try to
Oh
pick
my.
both sides, but I can't find my whistle so I can referee it.
You can only do listen. You don't have to say anything. What do you
Like
want? If
like
somebody
mommy I'd
asks you,
say, I'll
uh
just
huh.
go in the BG. The BG King.
You because you're always in the BG.
Because I'm
All right,
always
I
at
have to
work.
excuse myself eating activity tomorrow. Thank you, mommy ads.
Thank you
Richard
for
have
coming.
Thank you for coming po. Richard have an earplugs that can reject that he doesn't what he doesn't like. Can I have it too? He is good at that, E.T., you know?
easy, easy. It's what how we say it. It's mind over matter. If you don't mind, it don't matter.
Yeah. I will come up on panel for a little bit. Okay, Leon. Thank you.
Chris across the
Thank
planet, welcome in. Welcome in.
Chris. Define open-minded. Lol. Is that where you can listen? You don't have to agree or you don't have to disagree. Just listen and you're able to take new ideas. And yeah, criticisms. You're willing to open to anything. You are open to hear anything and you did not let it sink into your skin. Good night, Yads, with full of love from ET. My pleasure for moments. Night, Reg, AT, and all. Hello, Chris. Hi, Sir Chris. Hello, brother Chris. Good night, Papa. Sleep well. Good day, all. Thank you, Chris. Good day to you. How are you? Yeah, Richard is an open minded. He also has selective hearings.
Yeah, I miss half of the live streams while I'm working.
Sink into your skin? Oh, Lulia. Don't let it sink in.
Like a fly on your shoulder, just shush them
What?
away.
What did Leon say? Device is not connected. Hi, Leon.
Hello.
Welcome in,
How are you
Leon.
doing, Leon?
Sorry?
Said welcome in. Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, just checking.
Hello, Leon from ETC.
Hello,
Well,
Easy.
Leon,
And how is everyone keeping?
easily.
Keeping well.
Good.
Fine and dandy for the present time.
Oh, yes.
Spanky and the
Hello,
bear, welcome
Sissy.
in.
Make a love shout out to you, Spunky and the Bear. Well, Leon, how can you tell that a person is an open-minded?
Because they open speak out what they want to say.
Ooh, that's it. Sarah, hi Leon from
Terry, welcome
Sarah.
in.
And there's my wife.
uh,
Oh.
uh,
I'm open-minded as long as you agree. I'm always right. From Sir Terry. Oh boy.
Hello, Sarah.
Leon words can be juicy with alternative meaning, right?
Oh, yes.
Oh, AT has an open-minded, huh?
And my wife is in your chat.
Oh, really?
Yes.
yes, it's Sarah.
Sarah
Oh, she's she's your wife.
Sarah is
Oh,
my
I don't
wife.
know. Hello. Hello, Sarah. She was here even the last time, Leon.
Yep.
Yep. Believe us, Sarah. We all take sympathy for you. It's only a joke, Leon. Only a joke.
I know. I know.
Oh
Yep.
gosh.
Well, she's my common law wife.
Common law.
been with her 8. I've been with Sarah for 8 years,
Wow.
Good for you.
and she's still a pain in my.
Now, wait a
Poss-
second. This is where that open minded comes in.
Yeah.
We need both sides of the story, not just one.
Wow! There they are. Hi, Sarah.
There you go.
Hello, Biggies.
Be thankful, Leon, she didn't have that frying pan in her hand.
Oh, she.
All right.
Oh, believe me, she don't need no frying pan.
Oh, she need a slipper.
No, she don't even need that.
Then? Oh, she need a helping hand.
Well, she's got to cook with her hands, so if she doesn't want to use her hand, she'll pick up the frying pan.
No, she don't like using the frying pan. She always gets me to use it.
Oh.
I'm
That's
good,
not
Biggies.
open
How
minded.
are
That's a
you?
compromise.
I
Oh
got the
yes.
answer, Leon, from ET. I got the answer, Leon,
And
from
what's the
ET.
answer? Easy.
Is that you're the one who pick up the frying pan and cook?
I am the cook.
Ooh, that sounds good.
I done catering for about 8-9 years of my life.
Wow.
No, your ring is not over here,
Welcome
Sarah.
in, Jeff.
Dear Japhet, hello. Cub said Japhet will come in. Hello, dear Japhet. Hello, Easily from Spunky and the Bear. CCHK, thank you. This too has full support. Thank you so much.
And where's Miss Neth?
She's there. So am I, Leon. The spices is the trick.
Oh
80 said.
yes. Oh, very much so. Whatever spice you like.
Spice Girls. Hi, Sid. How's it going? From Sartari.
So which spice scale are you then, to me?
What's that, Leon?
Which spice scale are you, Timmy?
Oh, what kind of spice am I?
What spice scale are you? If you was one of the spice
Spice
girls.
girl. I don't know. I don't know their name. I just know the movie. Timmy.
You got sporty spice, ginger spice,
Timmy. Jump it.
and posh spice. So easy would be
Posh.
you'd be posh spice, would you?
Posh.
And
Did you
I'm
choose it? Posh.
for me, I'm old spice.
You're old spice.
Now Jeff got that one straight away.
Oh, yes, I did.
Old Bran. Now, what about you, Richard? What kind of spice are you?
What kind of a
Isons.
spice am I? Sweet and sour.
Sweet and sour.
I can be sweet 1 minute and mess everything up and make a sour taste in your mouth the next minute.
Oh yes, I know the feeling on that.
What about you, OG Bran? What kind of spice are you? Ate Nats is laughing. What about Ate Nats? What kind of spice she is?
Easy. Hey, you silly carrot. Why you ate little Jimmy kitty cat bars?
Yeah.
Yeah. The OG Bears comment.
Hello, JM456. Easy. Yeah. What kind of spice is easy? It's eaty.
Now, ET's a scary spice.
Spice.
Scary.
Whoops! Who we have here? The total spice is here. Hello, Chris.
How you doing, Chris?
Hi, Chris.
Reginald Spice Burger.
Yeah, great. Hang on. I've got to turn you off, but turn the audio off on the other one. There we go. All right, we're all good. I was actually just about to go to bed, but
Oh.
Spanky's still busy at the moment, so I thought I'd just drop in and say good day.
Yeah,
Who the
good
heck
day.
are you?
Thank
Oh.
you.
And all that sort of stuff.
I take it Chris is from Australia.
Oh, how could you
Yes.
tell, mate?
He's from all over. Don't let him fool you.
Oh, I'm all over the bloody planet. Jeez,
That's it.
goodness me.
Oops, who's up there? From CC Hong Kong?
There's my baby.
Answer
There's my honey bunny.
Look, it's
There's my-
Spunky Spice up there. Spunky Spice up there.
Spanky Spice, I like that.
Yes, next.
Answer Terry, what kind of spice is Sir Terry? Totally spice.
Now, I've got to say, Terry's got to be Old Spice as well.
Old Spice.
Join the club, mate. Jeez. Oh, I haven't got a picture of the Old Spice underarm at the moment, but anyway.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's my honey spice from CC.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. She's a little bit busy at the moment and probably can't come up, but that's my honey bunny.
Plus,
HKE. So yeah, no. I thought I'd just drop in and say good day. Hey, Terry. Pass my scale spice. That's funny. You're not that old, mate. Come on. You're still singing some great tunes, mate. I listen every day. I don't get a chance to actually write anything, but yeah, no, it's great.
Oh,
No,
I'm glad you
love
said
it.
about the
love the
singing.
tunes.
Terry, I have got a message from you from two other young ladies that they miss you very much.
Oh,
Woo, look out.
see?
Oh.
Terry ain't that old.
Terry-
He still
Terry's
got the moves.
hot property.
Because Terry
Is it
knows a
those,
couple of the ladies channels that I go to, and they miss him.
Oh.
I know one of the ladies miss him very much.
Oh boy. Sir
No worries,
Terry.
honey. We understand.
It's totally spice. That's why.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Oh,
Sorry.
Sir
Spanky
Terry.
just dropped in and she's very busy at the moment. So would love to drop in, but cannot due to work commitments.
Oh, we understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
No
know.
worries.
No worries.
Anyway, I thought I'd drop in and say good day and fill in
G'day,
the
mate.
gap and say hello.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you for
So where
having
you
me
been
here
hiding there
tonight.
lately?
Oh, mate, I've been busier than a bloody one-arm wallpaper hanger. Jeez.
Oh, yeah, that time of the year, isn't it?
Yeah, well,
Chris.
actors are all looking for work at the moment, and I'm editing like crazy,
Now,
and
are you
we got
guys
to.
having the same problem over there like we're having over here? Because the writers are threatening to go on strike again?
Oh, look, writers aren't a huge problem here in Australia because we only do indie stuff. Let's face it. Um, Most of our major players are in the US. All the major movies are out at the moment. I had to do some work on a particular movie that's opening on the 27th. I can't say anything other than it's a huge explosion, if you get my meaning.
Oh,
Yep.
Oh,
Oppenheimer and stuff like that. But
opening
um,
a big explosion. I know exactly what film you're talking about. In
yeah, yeah, yeah. There's 6 minutes of that needed recutting for a particular country. So anyway, I'll leave that alone.
Yeah.
Otherwise I'll get in trouble.
Yeah, don't need
um,
that.
Chris,
yeah,
I've got a
yeah.
but
quick question.
Yeah.
I've got a quick
yeah,
question for you, Chris. My Sarah said, "What part of Australia are you from?
where am I from or where am I in?
Where are you at the moment in Australia?"
At the moment, I'm in Queensland.
He's in
But
Queensland, Sarah.
yeah, yeah. Look, it's a long story, but basically, I'm Australian
That's
by
all.
passport. Arrived in
That's
Victoria down the bottom end, but ended up in Queensland. But spent most of my life in Southeast Asia.
oh, nice.
Yeah, it's
It's tropical.
it's yeah, yeah. I spent a lot of years in Canada, working for the company, and then got spat out into Southeast Asia and spent most of my life there. 14 years in the Philippines.
Australia, where Chris is from.
Yeah, originally, yeah, yeah. I'm back here at the moment, tidying up stuff to get the hell out of here and get back to the Philippines again.
Hello,
Yes,
great
Yeah.
Chris.
grandpa Luke.
Yes, Chris. It is past your bedtime, young man.
Oh no, it's just
11 at
coming up
11.
midnight here.
Yes, I was just going to say 11:58 your time.
Right, it was only 2 nights ago that I finished at 5:30 a.m. doing a rush edit for a large US company. So time means nothing. I've spent more than 30 years of my life working on GMT in the UK. That's what I work by. I don't care where you are
Yep.
on the planet. GMT rules.
Greenwich Mean Time. Yes.
Yes,
The
absolutely, mate.
reason I say that is I'm born Bermondsey boy, South London.
Ah, South London. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I've got family that are in the entertainment industry and friends, a lot of friends and family in the UK. I love the
Yep.
place, even though you guys are going broke at the moment. But yeah, no, it's great.
I believe it or not, this is coming from a Londoner. I hate London.
Yeah, I get it, mate. I get it. I look, being technically, Australian, I hate the place. You
Yeah.
know, not the people, but all the rest of it. I
Yeah.
just can't wait to get back to Asia and just kick back again.
Welcome in, Luke.
Very much so.
Luke,
Hi, Luke.
Luke the Great. Oh, I haven't seen you for a while, but then again, I haven't been hanging around Bruce's channel either, so I haven't had time.
Yeah.
And Timmy, I must apologise for not saying good evening to you, and
Oh.
your channel tonight. Yeah,
Oh, thank you,
I, I,
Chris.
I just
Thank you.
jumped in for a quick
Appreciate
hello.
you for being here. Appreciate you for being here tonight, Chris. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Yeah, no problems at all. Just been chatting with Spanky as usual. We spent the
Yeah.
whole day virtually together yesterday, or was it the day
Oh, yeah,
before? I
it's
don't know. I forget.
better.
It is,
But
Luke. It is very much very big place, but
yeah, yeah.
I'm not going to get into politics, but it's just some place I just don't like living in anymore.
Yeah, look, it's a lovely place to visit. You know, I've got family there that have moved out to the country.
Yeah.
I've got friends that are all over the UK. Some really, really close friends that I'd love to one day get back to see again.
Oh, yes.
But yeah, life is just so busy at the moment. I'm packing this place up to, sell it and get out of here. But yeah, no, life is what it is. But
So are
hang on a
you
sec. I'm
are
just
you
trying.
still gonna edit for the company when you go back to the Philippines?
Look, I sold my company. Okay, I didn't technically. I sold the rights to it, and my 5 other editors, they're doing, most of the work for the company. I'm basically the fireman now
Right.
when crap goes wrong, because most people don't realize that you take a major release movie, and it's released worldwide. There's up to a dozen different versions of it because of um, uh, copyright, because of, oh no, you can't show that in this country, you've got to have subtitles for this country and all the
Right.
rest of the stuff. So yeah, I'm basically the fireman. When they go, oh crap, this is not right for this country, but it's got to come out on, in this case the 27th. We need this fixed for this country. So I got to do all the background and all the rest of the stuff, cut, shut, and all the rest of it, and at least do the digital release side of it. I spent many, many years doing, emulsion, 1570 or 70 millimeter film. So it's only the last 10 years that I've been seriously editing
Well, it
digitally.
can't be too
So,
bad. You still got a head full of hair, so
oh, you haven't seen the back of my head, mate. You don't want to see the back of it.
He's got a ponytail.
No, definitely
Ponytail.
no ponytail. I could, but I tell you what, there'd be a hole in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Oh my
Goodness
god.
me. Yeah, no, look, it's crazy, absolutely crazy. But look, I'll be honest with you, the best thing that ever happened to me in the last 12 months
good.
is on a panel
Oh, we
like this,
know about that.
I met up with HK, and we're from different
Yeah.
worlds, but both, like I said, I've lived in the Philippines for 14 years because it was a nice central base for me for where I was
Kamusta?
working. Yeah, yeah.
Kumusta?
Hello, and yeah, no, we met up on a panel, like I can't remember whose it was, and yeah, everything just clicked. So I shot up to Hong Kong a few months ago, and yeah, everything just worked out right, as you guys probably know. And so yeah, I'm just working at the moment of selling up absolutely the last of everything except for a couple of rentals, and yeah, I'll be out of here. So, but being a Saturday night, I'm I did a bunch of work a couple of nights ago, and nobody's
Mhm.
called me. I've done one meeting on one online meeting with the company, which is Friday in Toronto, and I was just about to go to bed, and I saw Timmy's up, so I thought I'd just drop in and say good day.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Because
No worries.
so when are you planning to come in the Philippines?
As soon as all this junk around me at the moment is, I get rid of it. Yeah, either give it away, sell it, whatever.
What are your
Um,
expectations, more or less? A month, 2 months?
um, oh, look, I don't want to say too much because this is all in association with, with Spanky,
Oh,
um, and her work commitments and stuff like that.
right,
I could
right,
look, I could dump the whole lot tomorrow and lose a few dimes, and you know, and get on a plane and head to the Philippines, but it'd be awfully lonely without Spanky, which I'm not interested in because like I
right,
said,
right.
I spent 14 years there, um, and you know, I love the Philippines. I love the people. I love the culture. Um, and it's just the way it is. But I don't really want to do it again unless I'm with someone that I want to be with until I go toes up in the sand.
Yeah, I hear
Any
you.
specific place you want to go there, or you want to? Are you going there for vacation or for good?
No, no, it's a one-way ticket this time. Uh, when
Mhm.
I when I leave here, I ain't coming back.
Now,
I've
when
got no
when you go
ties to this place.
back, do you have to? How long does your visa go for?
I'll
So
be
what?
going for an SRRB.
Oh, okay,
Um, yeah.
okay.
Look, I can do the 3 years. You do the tourist thing, and then you
Mm.
add, then you add, then you add, and you add, and in 3 years
Right.
you're
To
back
become a
there for
resident.
24 hours and come back. Oh, look, residency is extremely difficult in the Philippines. But to get a long-term base, it's the equivalent of residency, yeah, with an SRRV. Um, that's what I plan to do. It's the easiest of the lot. I would like to do it in somewhere like Thailand where the food is nicer and infrastructure is probably a little better, but it's just they make it way too hard. But I know the Philippines extremely well, so I'm more than happy to find a place to settle
Yeah.
down anywhere. You
Go
know,
back to
Settle
a
down there now.
go back to
You
a
know what,
place where
Chris?
you know you
There
can
is a
enjoy.
new
that's
there is
right.
a
Yeah,
new
yeah,
law. There is a new law that the government is implementing today. It's just they allow the foreigners to give their residence visa there with a certain
yeah, yeah.
step.
There's a lot of
uh,
conditions to it. Yeah, yeah.
no, because they
I,
reverse it now. It's a new law that is newly out now, not the old one.
Yeah, is it out or has it been passed through Parliament or not? That's the question. I watch it. I watch Philippines
I think it's already passed
information
it.
daily.
I think
there's
it's
there's a
already
lot of
past
things
it
they
because I
say
heard
they're
it
going to do.
too.
Yeah, yeah. Look, it's really, really
I
difficult, Timmy. I watch it very, very closely because it's dear to my heart. I love the country. I love the culture. I love the people.
mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
and I love a particular person that's from there, and that's what we plan to do.
Mhm.
Um, so working out what is the best
So which do you
makes
prefer? Do you
me
prefer the city or the countryside?
about halfway in between, but preferably somewhere very close to a beach. I love the
Oh
sand.
wow.
Uh, I really do. You it's freezing here at the moment. I'm back in Australia at the moment. Um, it's freezing and stuff. I got the heater on, well, almost on. It's just idling.
You know
And
what?
I hate it.
Thank you, easily.
Easily slash yeah.
One President
Right,
Marcos to legalize divorce.
I'm just
They are
gonna.
implementing it now. Pangit leg boats.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
implementing the divorce law
Absolutely
now.
agree. as bad as
Yeah,
divorce is, especially in the Western world, where I mean, on average in the Western world, we're at 50% divorce rate. Which is not nice. It's not good, and all the rest of it. But in the Philippines, in particular, it needs to be legalized.
it needs. People
Finally,
needs divorce there. Yeah.
yeah,
But they
yeah, because
are.
there's just
I
too
don't
many
know what
problems.
time of the year today. He said they will be implement
Yeah, well,
later
it's
this
halfway
year.
through Parliament, so
Yeah. Yes,
through
it
the
is
government.
halfway.
A lot of
So
us can only just sit and wait.
yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
You have to
I'm just
excuse
gonna
me if.
say for Sarah, she's asked me to say this. Sarah doesn't do live streams, okay? She
Mhm.
has got a channel. She has got her own channel, but she only does shorts. You won't hear her talking on her videos. It's very rare that she talks on her
It's
videos.
I only talk on videos if it's birthday.
If it's someone's birthday, you will hear her talk. But on all her other videos, she does not talk.
Oh,
Well,
She's
come
drop
more.
on, Sarah.
drop.
I hear you talking right now.
Yeah, we can hear you in the background. But look, anyway, drop the link, and anybody
Yeah,
and anybody that's
I
in the
put
chat, we can
everyone. I put
connect.
Sarah's link on pin. Et dropped her channel, so I put it on pin. So
Yeah.
if you want to connect Sarah, please guys connect Sarah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Timmy, I didn't see that. I'm
Oh, that's
So I
opening a
okay.
do,
new tab.
and this comes
Con.
from me personally. Thank you, everyone
Thank
who
you,
does.
Rich. Ah,
There you go,
thank
Sarah.
you, Et
Connected.
and Regeland. Thank you.
Yep,
Thank you, guys.
done.
When will the Philippines join the 21st century and legalize divorce? The Philippines is a secular country. Marriage is not a religious matter anymore. But it is hard
Yeah,
to
boy.
tell also because nowadays the Philippine government should not listen to this religious kind of
Yeah, look,
uh,
Timmy, when you've got
organizations that
still as of last year, when you've got 94% of the people that are Catholic, religious, and the higher ups that are still pressuring the government for what they want, it makes it really, really hard. I mean, look, I'm Catholic. I was actually baptized again in
and
the
I am
Philippines
Catholic
many, many years ago.
and I am
But
Catholic.
but you know what's going on at the moment is absolutely ridiculous, because you got to look at what the world is doing, not just the Philippines. You should have the option. Everyone should have the option to do what they want to do within the law,
Yes,
or
true.
if not, change the laws. So look, if you want to, if things have gone toes up, bugger up, whatever you want to call it, if things aren't right, you should have the option for divorce and a whole bunch of other things that go with it, regardless of what the church says. Boy, am I going to get crucified for saying that.
No. A lot of
That's
that,
true.
the way I see
And
it
you know,
is,
pangit like
being
Bones
that they're
said.
Catholic, it's
My
mainly the
girlfriend is so
Roman Catholic that
beautiful.
does not believe in divorce.
That's why now the
Yeah.
divorce is half of the parliament because of the people. The
Yep.
people
Mm.
is calling the government to change this law to accept divorce and implement divorce in the Philippines because we need it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not
You know.
because pangit like Bones. My girlfriend is so beautiful and lovely, but she is married. She is stuck with someone she doesn't love anymore. You know what, pangit
Mm.
like Bones? Marriage shouldn't not end with this thing anymore just because you don't love the person, you don't want to get married. What if you have children? You have to prioritize your children. You
Mm.
have to put up your children's first before you. Because not just because you don't love the person anymore, there must be a deeper meaning behind that. There must be a
Right.
deeper reason why you want to get divorced.
My
Mm.
mother and father were married. They got divorced, and my mother turned around to my father and said, "Right, I want my life back. You have the kids." And there was 3 of us got lumbered
Wow.
on my dad.
Oh,
What?
that's in this day and age. That's opposite. But yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
in the
see that being.
Philippines, it's not like that. Okay, you don't want me anymore? We'll separate. You can go. But you have to
Yep,
leave the children with me. Being the mother, I have the right to my children. And you have to support
yep,
them if you want to. If you don't, then go your way. Leave us alone.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah. That's in the West. That's been pretty much the same, Timmy. But like Leon said, that's that happened to his parents, and it's starting to
Mm.
change here in Australia. Anyway, I don't know about the US and other countries. Um, But yeah, we're
Oh,
starting to see more of that change where it's just like, women are just walking away, which is understandable in a lot of cases. A lot of, you know, I'm
Mm.
not saying in Leon's case, but there's a lot of deadbeat fathers around and all the rest of it, and women just
oh
need to
yes.
walk away as well. Um, but would you want to leave the kids in a person like that's hands? So,
Oh, of course not. You
uh,
want to leave
I'm
because you cannot take it anymore. How come you will leave your children with this person's
Yeah,
hands?
yeah, exactly right, exactly right. But there's look, with the 50% divorce rate, we're also looking at 50% deadbeat rate either way, male, female, and stuff like that. The
Hmm, yeah.
I'm sorry, I was talking to Spanky about this, this morning. There's just
Mhm.
as many deadbeat mothers and fathers across the planet in the Western world these days. So,
Very much so.
well, what do you do? You know,
And
every case
and
is
from
independent and different.
yep, my point of view
Pangit
is
leg bones.
if you're gonna have children, you've got married and you have the divorce. The children are, as you said, Chris, a priority number one.
Mm, mm,
Yes.
The
yeah,
parents should have the 50-50 rule put on them. No
mm,
matter
Mm.
what anyone says, that is what should happen. The 50-50 rule. The parents should legally oblige to 50% of the children. So, like,
yeah. It's only right.
Yeah,
if
Um,
that's
the
right.
one for
you
the
know,
whole week, right, say for a week, right, the children are going to spend 4 days a week with the father and 3 days a week with the mother. The following week, it's the opposite way round. They spend 4 days, 4 days with the mother and 3 days with the father, and there's no quarrels in between.
yeah,
That's how it
that's
should
right.
be.
Yeah,
Oh, that's how you
absolutely.
call co-parenting. Co-parenting. Yeah, should that
Technically,
be?
co-parenting should be like that, but you've also
Oh,
got to go the
Mm.
next layer deep and
But
both be in agreement on how there's discipline, there's all the things that go with parenting a
mm,
child,
yep,
especially young children and stuff like that.
yeah.
Yeah, do you smack the kids or not smack the kids? Is this breaking the law or that breaking the law? Which school do they go to? How are they educated and all the rest of the stuff?
Hmm.
exactly.
All those
Because
things that the courts don't see or understand. Well, they understand, but they don't want to know. Um, that's something that's got to be come into an agreement with between the ex-mother and ex-father and all the rest of it. And
yep,
if you can't agree on those things, my God, the kids get so messed up. It's just like,
yep.
oh my
Mm.
God,
I
it's a
can tell you that
minefield.
from
This.
personal
Mhm.
experience. My life
Mm.
got so mucked up with only been living with my father. I have no recollection of my natural mother.
Yep.
So it would have been nice to have known my natural mother, but because I don't have any memory of her, to me, because I don't have that any memories of her, my father is my mother and father in one. But since I was 13, I haven't seen my actual father. I've seen him 5 times since I was 13, and I'm 49 in July.
Yeah. You're just youngin'.
Oh,
No,
yes.
sorry.
It's the same
No,
with
look,
my son. His last time he saw his father, but during his grandmother's burial, and that is the time he know that his father is living in with another woman and they have a child.
Kimmy, can
He
you
didn't get
throw
any.
Morning, Ma.
ET's thing
Welcome in, Adrian.
message back up again? I was just halfway through reading it and I can't see the other
Saan?
screen. Thank you.
Ah,
Yeah.
ito.
Registrar both now legally separated, but in the church is still home next time. Okay. Do this because Bolado and you blessed. Okay, that was the bit that I missed on the end. Yeah. Oh, ET, I love your comments. I really do. Yeah, that's the problem with, undoing what the church says is right and all the rest of it. Look,
I'll be back
everybody
in a minute.
okay, Leah, believe in your own gods, deities, whatever, and all the rest of the stuff. That's fine. But, when it comes to legalities, and stuff, let people be people, let humans be humans, and get on with your life because life is too short. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, Luto. Be blessed. Eat. Legally separated. There's also a legally separated case in the Philippines, but you cannot, you want to move on your life and you want to get married, remarry, you also can't because it doesn't allow in the legally separated. And since 80 is married in the church, then meaning if he will go to divorce, then also get a divorce in the church, right?
Yeah, mine's painful. It really is. I was married in the Philippines to a Filipina, and then recognized in Australia as a marriage, and then
Mm-hmm.
divorced in Australia, and then they were both, my ex-wife and son passed away
Oh.
in an accident in Australia. So, legally I'm single.
Mm-hmm.
And when I get back to the Philippines, I got to file all this paperwork,
Mm-hmm.
to say that, hey, I'm single, you know.
Mm.
It's just like, oh, it's just crazy. Absolutely crazy. So,
But since your
anyway,
wife is already, she already passed away, right? All you need to
yeah.
do is to present the death certificate, and that's it. You can remarry.
Yeah, there's that plus the divorce and all the rest of the stuff, because the
Mm.
because the divorce was in Australia, it's recognized in the Philippines.
Yeah,
That's fine. You've got to go through these steps. It's just like even though you
yeah.
might have passed away, you're still married. And it's just like, oh my God, I talked to a
Really?
lawyer about it. Yeah, yeah,
I know a
it's
lot of
crazy.
people there. Hi, Lost. Welcome in.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Loss.
How you doing?
Lost the nomad. Ah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Part of my tribe, born nomad.
The
uh,
one is, yeah.
or mm. Anyway, I won't get into the nomad stuff, but yeah, that's that's part of
Oh,
my
Chris isn't. The lesson here is don't get married. Chris.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
The
Oh,
Padre say
goodness
tell
me.
death to us part. So I say I gamble and buy lotto and pay you back. What?
Yeah, that's an ET joke if ever I saw one.
Oh, Chrissy.
Uh, don't get married. Yeah, well, we all fall into that trap, you know. Look, as you get older, it's like, you know, admittedly, I'm not young by any means, but, I'm young at heart. And, the world's changed a lot. Um,
A lot.
Yeah, whether it's for
uh,
the better or for the worst, the outcome is yet
oh,
to be seen.
yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. I was talking to a friend of mine today, and, you know, she's the same age as me, and she's just had a oh God, what was it? I can't remember. Anyway, not a heart attack. Ah, no. Anyway, some weird medical thing, and she's contemplating the meaning of life and all the rest of it. And it's like, you get to a certain age, and we look back and go, "Holy crap!" Look at the way we were brought up, and look at the way that the teenagers are being brought up these days.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's
Um,
worse.
you know, in
It's
in
really
in
terrible.
10 to 20 years time, when some of us, I know I'll be gone, when we're gone,
Mhm.
what's the planet going to look like? It's a free for all now. What's it going to be like then? I really don't want to know.
Yep.
I really don't.
I don't know. I was brought up on a switch and a belt.
Yeah, yeah,
And now, you try that now, you'll end up behind bars.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, you know, I got, a couple of spankings at school for being an idiot. And I absolutely agree. I got smacked down twice by my father because I was disrespectful to my mother, and I deserved it, and absolutely agree with it. But
Yep.
you try that in this day and age, you would
Oh,
end up in jail. I mean, how ridiculous is it? You know,
You
there's
Well,
cannot
there's
you
nothing like
cannot
there is a
even
fine line between a spanking and actual abuse. I mean, listen, I'm also I grew up with the spanking, switching the belt. I totally
yeah,
understand that, but there is a
yeah,
fine line
no,
because, like, I had a friend who was he was not spanked, he was actually beat. So
yeah,
there is
there's
a
a
difference.
fine line, but
well, it's not really that fine. There's a
no.
big difference between being punched in the face or having your ass smacked with a belt. Let's face it.
true.
No, like a five, face slaps from the belt. I got hit by the belt also, versus uh, a younger child getting wailed on for as long as the parent could keep swinging.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
that's,
that's just wrong. Yeah,
yeah.
Mhm.
yeah, and I think any reasonable person, that is not on drugs, not on alcohol, blah blah blah, and all the rest of the stuff, knows the difference between, you know, giving a kid. I'm probably going to get all sorts of hate for this, but knows the difference between giving a kid a buddy, a spank on the butt for being, this is wrong, and then explaining to them why it's wrong
Yeah.
before and after versus, slapping them around. There's a
Yeah, but
huge difference between the two.
the snowflakes of our day are trying to blur that
But
line. I
well,
believe in discipline. Now, sometimes discipline doesn't necessarily have to be physical. I think it should be more physical with, say boys versus girls, right? As a father who has
yeah,
a girl, but
yeah, yeah,
still,
yeah,
there's the
But
whole idea of spankings is discipline.
yeah. And the snowflakes, lefties, and all the rest of the stuff, or far lefties, and all the rest of the stuff would have us all think that, you can't say anything that's just not straight down the line, and, rainbows and fairy tales and all the rest of it, and everything will be right. Well, that's not how the world works. Shit
yeah.
happens. Sorry, Timmy, but it does. And sometimes it needs a little bit of discipline, you know. Um, to straighten things out. You know, the best thing, I disrespected my mother once. I pushed the
Mm.
limit. When I think I was about 13 or 14 or something like that, and mm, you know, I remember it to this day. You know, my father coming home, he was away a lot traveling with work. He came back, and I remember him and my mother having a conversation. I didn't hear the conversation, and he walked into the kitchen and open-handedly slapped me to the ground and said, "That's for disrespecting your mother on such and such about such and such." And I was like, "Oh, crap. Okay. Well, that's not how you talk to your mother or women and all the rest of the stuff." And it taught me a great lesson, and I thank he's gone now, and I thank him for it, you know?
Mm.
So how the hell do you get that message across these days with the snowflakes and all the lefties and all the rest of stuff? Because no
Well,
one's listening to that crap.
what I
Let's
do
face
with
it.
my oldest girl, I tape the hospital number and I tape the police number on the back of my phone. And every time she
Mm,
wanted to get out of line, I'd hand her the phone and tell her, "Man, I hope you make the right call because you're only getting
mm.
one."
I like it. I like it.
It's tough.
And she never did have to call.
Yeah,
She,
yeah.
she understood my message mighty clear.
Mm. Thank Chris S. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You know,
Thank you, Leon.
Thank you for joining us
yeah.
tonight, Leon and Sarah.
Thanks, Leon. Yeah. Sorry for
Mhm.
jumping in and, you know, I just saw Tammy up and I thought, oh, I'll jump in and
Uh,
say good day before
it's
I go
all
to bed.
good. It's all good.
Yeah, it's all good. I still remember the ears ringing for about 5 minutes. Lol, Spanky. What?
Yeah, yeah, that was about it. By the time I got up, it was just like, by the time I got back to my feet, I worked out what it was all about. With a stern look from my father and
Well,
just like,
my father has a
right, I
very
get it.
my father has a very tough kind of disciplining us before. Okay, we do a mistake once. He'll let us know what we do. You have to remember it the second time. You cannot redo it. That kind of mistake. Second, if you do it again, that's where you get a really,
Yeah,
really
yeah.
hard talk from him. The third
Mm,
you do it again, and you need to kneel down on the floor with the rice grains on it. Kneel down in
yeah.
there for 45 minutes.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
keep repeating, I will not do it again. I will not do it again. I will not do it again. He is so tough.
Yeah, and especially in some countries, like especially Philippines and other Asian
Mm,
countries, um, there's people that I know, some dear to my heart, um, that it goes too far the other way. That have nothing but horror stories from punishment and stuff like that as kids. And they're scared. Well, not scared, but it leaves permanent scars. So you can go way too far the other way in any country, but
yeah.
countries where you can get away with it, like in the Philippines and stuff like that. Um, it's not good. So we're getting back to that balance thing of,
And you know what?
you know,
The moment you getting older, the more you realize that the more you'll be thankful to your parents for doing that to you, because you realize, oh, this is what I did before, and it's kind of scary. Oh, I might have died into doing these things because we like to swim in the river and it's deep,
yeah, but
and
also
with
there's,
no adult supervision. That's growing up. I realized, oh, he did not did that because
yeah,
he
there's,
doesn't allow us, because he don't want us to get an accident there.
mm. Yeah, but it also crosses the line where, there's
Mm.
silly things, that kids don't know any better and stuff like that. and they get beaten and stuff like that.
Some of the kids do
And
know, but they kind of like to try and push the button and see how far they can go with it.
Mm.
yeah, but
Yeah, that's what
if
they
you've
have to
got
do. That's
a
natural.
whole
It's natural to test the boundaries. You have to. I
Yeah.
think that's what children are supposed to do. Supposed to be able to test
yeah, but
boundaries to find
look,
out what. But
the
testing them
Philippines
over
and
and
other,
over and over, that's a different story.
in Asia, where it's about saving face and all the rest of it, and you know, especially in the Philippines, where the father is supposed to be, leader of the family and all the rest of the stuff. If they're fighting with the pet, between the father and the mother and stuff like that, um, when there's no when when there's no answer to the problem, it's taken out on the kids, and the kids get beaten and stuff like that. I've heard the story so many times from friends and people and people close to me. The kids get beaten and stuff like that. It's almost like retribution because they can't take it out on their other half and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's really, really sad that the kids are the ones that suffer, and they shouldn't. It's just like, where is this
It's true.
balance point? Yeah,
Because of the parents is immature. Their parents is
yeah,
immature. And they don't
yeah,
set a good example to their children, but then they expect their children to be good. But hey, education begins at home. Whatever your children sees at home, they do
absolutely.
imply it.
Mm, mm. Yep, yep,
Yeah.
absolutely, Timmy. Yeah. Uh, it just annoys me so much, to hear stories like that, over and over again. It's
Hmm.
just like, uh, you know, yeah, in the West we've gone too far the other way. The kids know that, before they're 18 they can get away with anything. They can beat old people, they can steal from shops, they can do whatever and all the rest of it. And no one can smack their butts and all the rest of it. They can get away with literally blue murder.
Because
And
of
and
the
in,
this
in
kind of, they have a, how do you call it, protection, that you cannot
yeah,
beat
yeah,
them.
it's the
You cannot
laws. It's the
discipline
way they
them.
are. Yeah, that's right.
They are
And yet
protected.
in
They can do whatever they
Southeast
want.
Asia and that, the parents can get away with, literally blue murder and not murder as such, but they can get away with so much, and the kids suffer for life, all because the parents are just not educated in themselves and bringing up
Yeah,
children. You know,
yeah.
it's just totally the opposite, and it's really, really sad. It drives me
Really,
nuts
really
sometimes
sad.
thinking about it. Yeah.
It is happening in the Philippines too, Chris. That is the reason why. Because we are living in the city before when me and my ex together. It was 10 years ago. And then when I left the Philippines coming here in Malaysia to work, I really had a strong decision that I better leave my son to my parents because they are living in the
Hmm.
countryside. Okay, there's no crime rate there, zero crime rate, and then the children there, they are protective, and you can see how respective they are when it comes to the oldest. It's just like they're growing the natural way without any toxic surroundings and bad
Mm-hmm.
influence people that surrounded them. But learning there nowadays, also when I go there for a vacation, I can see that the kids there are also changing
Hmm.
because of this thing that the parents cannot discipline their children the proper way before, because even their children nowadays is so hard-headed that they cannot take your, no matter how much you talk to them, give them advice, enlighten them, it's just they will listen. Okay, listen to the right, come out to the left. They do
Yeah.
whatever they want to do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's the
And
way
you
it's
cannot
slowly
lay your
going.
hands on them. You cannot lay your hands on them anymore, or else they will call the police.
Yeah, and there's so many facets of Western society and stuff like that that is leaching, one by one by one by one into Asian cultures, Thai, Philippines, Indonesian, Malay, and all the rest of it, cultures, that you see and go, oh my God, I wish that wasn't happening, because it's bad. There's, some of us are trying to get away from that, and get back to a normal, what we class a normal lifestyle.
Yeah.
And yet we see it, it's just like, oh my God. And
And
the whole world's going that way.
social media has the biggest contribution with all of the children's behavior nowadays.
Yeah, it's a huge one. Yeah, absolutely.
It's
Yeah,
a huge
yeah, definitely.
contribution.
Yeah.
It's scary world we are living in, and I'm not looking forward to the future. Please.
Yeah. That's one thing that I can say is I'm old enough to know that I don't have a huge amount longer, 10, 20, maybe 25 years or whatever. And I'm not going to have to worry about any of this crap. But, my son from my very first marriage many years ago said to me ages ago, there is no way I am bringing children into this society or into this world the way it is and the way it's going. And I thought, that's an odd thing to say. But a couple of years later, not long ago, I thought to myself, damn, he's actually smart. Why would he bring kids into the way the planet is going at the moment? Just like, okay, I hear you and I understand it.
I would say that's a defeat. I would understand too, but also say that's a defeatist mentality. Like if you can't bring a child, I have one child. You can't bring a child in the world and teach them the rights versus the wrongs in the world, how to stand up for themselves. And maybe certain people shouldn't even be having children. They don't know how to do it. Well, one of the problems in society is right now because nobody stands up for anything. We,
Yeah.
especially here in
Yeah.
America, being American, like if something is said, someone's afraid to say something about it because they'll get canceled or bullied online. The world's connected. There's no way getting around with one small little town. The Philippines, and a lot of y'all into the Philippine genre kind of stuff. Like
Not
that little
anymore
town.
because of social media. Yeah.
Yeah, social media has connected the world. And, people are seeing
Yeah.
particularly these fun lifestyles that people will share online, which may or may not even be real. Nobody even knows. Obviously, people are showing a highlight reel of their lives. They're not showing all the bad stuff. Clearly, when they had a tough time not making their rent or whatever. They're not putting that shit up online. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, look, I agree with you there. But my first and oldest son from my very first marriage, I was really, really young. I was 19 or something when he was born. So that's going back way back. Nothing to do with my second marriage to my Filipino wife. He just, he's got 2 degrees in engineering and stuff like that, and said, screw this, I'm going into psychology. So he's back at university again. He's just too smart for his own good. But the one thing that he's maintained through the whole thing is he's watched the onset of, he's old enough now to see everything from Mario Kart through to social media to the internet and all the rest of the stuff. And he goes, I am not prepared to bring children into the world and the way it is going at the moment. He's got a lovely girlfriend and all the rest of the stuff. And they've both agreed that, we're heading for, excuse me, the world will implode at some stage, and they're not prepared to take the chance of bringing kids into that. And I just say, good on you for, being able to forward think and go, not take that chance. And hopefully he can be, part of the answer to the problem and someone else can have kids and this planet can continue. But anyway,
Yeah, the
it's
problem is, what is that saying? Like, evil happens when good men do nothing, or something along those lines.
Yes.
I think y'all understand what I'm saying here, right? So if
yeah.
nobody's going to actually step up and stand for what's right, then yeah, of course the world's going to fall apart. Like I would have, like if it was my son, I would have told him like, hey, I understand your decision, I get it, but you'll never understand the joys of actually having a child. You know what I mean? You'll
Mm.
never,
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
you won't even know what it's like when you're like, I've cried very little in my adult life, but one of the times I cried is when my daughter was born, right? Like
Mm.
it's not, it's just one of the
Yeah,
things.
but
Like
that
you
was
you
more of
can,
a satisfaction cry.
yeah, for sure. But what I'm saying is because men
Yeah.
generally, in general, we just don't show our emotions in that way. So when you actually have, you know, a, a point in your life where you break into tears because of joy. Like I didn't even understand that concept prior to. You know what I mean? Like why would you cry when you're happy? Like, it don't make no fucking sense to me. But then it happened. You know what I mean? It's one of them things. So I mean, I would, like if it's my child, I'd generate the joys, and it's like, hey, you can change the world for the better. You can actually do nothing. So I mean, like I say, I get it. I understand the way the world's kind of moving, especially you're an
Mm.
Australian, me being an American, our countries are kind of going to shit. But guess why they're kind of going to shit? We've allowed people who they pushed an agenda, and they basically have won. These progressive, liberal, leftist, whatever you want to call them. These types,
Mm.
they won at the moment. They've won the culture war, and they won the culture war because basically a whole lot of people like myself included have done nothing.
Yeah, yeah, no, that absolutely right. Or
Wait.
and when you say not have done nothing, it's usually I've found it's because we've been too engrossed in our own work, our own lives, and
Yeah.
all the rest of it, and haven't been watching what's going on around us. You know, I don't know what
Mm.
your thoughts are on people like Jordan Peterson and stuff like that. Um, when you look at when you stop, take a breath, and take stock of what's happened over the last 20 years and go, holy shit. Sorry, Timmy. But, the
Yeah.
world. The world has just gone sideways. It hasn't gone forward. It's gone sideways, and it's to its detriment. Um, there's certain people on this planet
Well, we
that have
can.
got a
I'm
lot of
sorry.
money that are trying to advance the world, but I don't know that that's the right way. We got to
Wait, excuse me
we're almost at the
for.
point where we've
Uh,
got to start from the bottom. Sorry, Timmy.
mhm. Excuse me, I need to read their comments. We can behind.
Look at
Parents
what
said parents don't have
Mike
time.
Whitcomb wrote.
Uh-huh. Wait, let me start from the top from Chris S.
Okay.
Here. Parents don't have time for their kids because both parents need to work to survive in this inflationary period. Rent and mortgages through the roof and cost of everything rising continually. This is one of the thing as well.
Yeah, but that's right now. This
'Cause-
is a short blip in the radar. We're not looking long term.
Mm,
We get these, we had
mm,
the 2008 crash. We've had a whole
mm,
lot of ups and downs and stuff like that. This is a blip, that in the long term is, yeah, it's hurting
yeah.
people at the moment worldwide, but
And then here,
it'll balance back out.
I mean, that's just
did
one
you?
point on the graphic, right? I mean, that is a
Yeah.
valid reason. That's only one of the little points on a very
Yeah.
difficult, multi-faceted things of why things are going what most of us considered are going in the wrong direction.
Then if you
If you
rely on
rely on
childcare, this is
child.
what you will experience, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, I was talking to a friend today about that. When the world, not just Australia or anywhere else, when the world turned the point because of the banking system and all the rest of it, where you had to have more than one parent working to maintain a
Mm,
mortgage, a house, a roof over the head of the children, and put food on the table, that's when everything changed. When you had one
yeah.
parent home looking after the kid, or kids, be it mother or father, usually the father, but could have been the mother. When everything got so hard where both parents had to work, and that's when everything changed. Kids had to go to
Mm-hmm.
kindergartens, they weren't
See,
parented
that's just
properly,
another
and
that's just another
you
point
know,
on the graph where that is true. I do not disagree with what you're saying,
yeah, but
and
that's
maybe
a that's a that's a
yeah,
big
that
one
percentage it
culturally.
is percentage wise that might be a bigger one. That's still not the cause. It's like, this is something I've actually looked into quite a bit. Like how have, especially men, because I like to blame a lot of, being a man, I like to blame a lot of issues on men because I hold myself accountable for almost everything I do. So I was like, why have men allowed this? Some of it is the weakening of men. I mean, there's so many things. The food we eat now. I mean, there's so many
Well,
facets
look, that's part of
where
it.
there's
But
been.
when you've got the banks and you've got everybody above the banks going, hang on, this is how much it's going to cost you to get a mortgage and all the rest of the stuff. Oh, guess what? You don't make enough money anymore. You've got to send your wife to work as well. That changes the whole dynamic in the house. With the kids, parenting, education and all the rest of the stuff. That was a
Yeah,
huge
yeah,
flip on the radar.
the breakdown in the family for sure. Yeah, like I say, I
Yeah.
agree. I just don't. I think you're putting more of a emphasis of this is like the largest data point at all. When I'm saying it is a large data point, I think it's not. Say maybe it's equally as large as say feminism, or maybe it's equally as large as the people who decided to actually push women into the workforce, or is it,
Yeah, yeah,
or is it
yeah,
the
yeah.
or is it the way we pushed people to have less children? I mean, there are agendas by people for sure. I'm not denying any type of those things, but just to say it's this one thing that is the major cause of all of it, I can't get
I'm not.
behind something like that.
Yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right. You're right. It's not. Sorry,
Here.
Tammy. It's not the one thing. I'm just saying. When you look at the old school, 40s, 50s, early 60s things, black and white, and then you go color, and then shortly after that, it's just like, oh crap, I can't afford to pay the mortgage anymore unless I'm, CEO. My
You know what?
wife's got to go to work.
You
But yeah, yeah, I hear what you're saying.
you you
A
brought up
lot of
something. I
things have changed.
actually one of the things I actually blame for a lot of, like, percentage wise, maybe the catalyst more than anything else. I literally say television has been one of the main problems within this
Yeah,
social
yeah,
experiment. And then you can amplify that, say, now with social media.
yeah, yeah. Oh, social media is, you know, it's a, it's a rope around
Social
everybody's neck,
media
and
has a huge contribution in today's thing that is happening. Like
absolutely. And you
people
and,
have
and you've got and
become, yeah.
you've got to self filter, Timmy. You really have to self filter because you know, oh my goodness me, the amount of stuff that you
Yeah.
see and go, that's absolute
Mm.
BS, and
Yes,
so
true.
many people just get sucked straight into it. It's just like there's
Mm.
so much toxic social media, but there's also, I mean, I haven't watched regular day-to-day TV in over 20 years because I saw it going that way. It's nothing but toxicity.
True. And
Back
the
then it was designed
disgusting.
to get, yeah, it was designed, your Days of Our Lives and the ads that were put in the middle of
Mm.
it were designed to hit the wives and mothers that were sitting at home looking after the kids and all that crap. All I did was shift that across to social media, for people that are now working, mothers and fathers that are both working. So it's just like, oh, give me a break. So, I cut out all TV and I filter very, very, very finely what time I have left in a day. My social media
Mm.
is, it's exactly what I want to watch.
Mm,
It's as
true.
simple as that. If I don't, stuff will send you nuts, and you can see it happening to people. It's just like, damn, you've been brainwashed, dude. Anyway,
Mm.
that's just my five
Yeah.
cents worth, and I'm going for a pee.
My quid comes in. People have become too passive, and the government love this. One of the factor.
Yeah, 100%. Like I said, when
Yeah.
evil thrives, when good people do nothing.
Hmm. What did Chris said? Spunky, did you inform your son that if he goes through the Hex Help scheme, that the indexation for this year is 7.1%? That's a lot of interest. I wouldn't want to have any student debt now. But you can have the educational savings. There is nowadays that one. I called my granddaughter a girl, and the other day, what? I called my granddaughter a girl, and the other day, and she was offended. She's non-binary now. What the heck is that? What is that?
That that
Non-binary?
that's the new agenda here in a lot of these Western countries, where they're trying to blur the
What is
lines of what
that?
is a man, what is a woman. So a non-binary, it means you don't prescribe yourself as either a man or a woman, or maybe you describe them as both. I don't quite understand it. It's ludicrous stuff in my opinion.
Huh? Really? This is the first time I heard this. Non-binary.
Come to America, you see it shoved down your throat these days.
Oh. Hello, Sir Larry. Make a love shout out to you. Thank you for coming in. Wow. This is a new word I learned today.
And actually, what I'm actually kind of happy that a lot of Americans are actually pushing back against this. Like, we've had this whole we'll call them the alphabet community, so you don't get in trouble here on YouTube. They there's been this agenda to shove this the alphabet community stuff down normal people's throats through advertisements, even laws, or they're trying to pass laws to do it. And there's been just a
Mm-hmm.
really big backlash here in America, which is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And to be clear, it's a backlash because people are tired of it having fans. So like people generally don't give a crap if someone wants to be gay, lesbian, or a wolf, or kitty cat. Like we don't care, but we just don't want you to make laws that have to tell a normal person you have to call us by a certain way. We're trying to get away from people restricting our speech.
Wow. What did you say? No, we have to buy house for the kids because it's beyond their reach. Nothing is reasonable at all. Next, we have to finance their kids living in education. So help me God. This is what I said. Do not enter into a married life if you are not stable. Since 1970s, wealth inequality has been growing exponentially and wages aren't matching prices. Tatay Mako, thank you for coming in. Social media has been detrimental to the mental health of so many people. Yeah? And social media is not healthy for those people who is suffering from mental health. Social media is not for them. When they have mental health issue, well, social media is a very wrong place for them to go to. I talked back to my mom once and she backhanded me so hard that I fell out of my chair and never talked back to my mom again. Whoa, Sir Lazy Larry Lee, you have an experience there, huh? Well, that's good. You learn your lesson. If you teach your kids financial literacy and they spend less than they earn, then they'll be fine. Problem is that people want to live in the now and don't consider retirement at all easily. You know what? All the parents need to teach their children is the difference between a need and a want. Because not everything you need is the thing you want, and not all the thing you want is the thing you need. I haven't turned on my TV in 6 months, and my laptop and phone gets plenty of views. I blame YouTube. Mike, we are both on the same loop. What the heck is a TV? Chris don't know what is TV anymore. Utang ay synonymous in the Philippines. Yeah, right, Chris S. And you know what? OFW is scared of the word kumusta. Because when someone messages us that doesn't message us particularly, we don't get that message from the person from our day-to-day basis, right? And then suddenly that person would send you a message and would ask you, how are you? Oh, come on, we're scared about that. It's just like you're thinking, shall I reply or not?
Okay.
I know people say like I don't I don't own a TV anymore or cable television. I mean, you can just replace a TV or a computer monitor with that. It's just whatever the new distraction is for you. And typically it's a phone these days, right, or a tablet, your computer.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same concept. Just because you're not watching Netflix on your TV, don't mean you're watching and on that little device in your hand.
Hmm. Try to spank your child now and the police show up. The schools are teaching kids that discipline is bad. What? You know what? Sometimes I felt sorry for the teachers in the Philippines because our public school teachers there are so good when it comes to disciplining a child. But nowadays, they cannot discipline the children because of the parents would interfere on how they discipline your children. Unlike in our times, we are scared. We don't do if we cannot do our assignment. We're scared. Our teacher, oh, my teacher will punish us. We don't do our homeworks. We don't do our projects. Oh, we're dead on our teachers. And our parents would say, like, this is what your prize, this is what you get by not doing all your tasks. But then nowadays, the teacher cannot discipline the kids anymore.
Yeah. That's unfortunately that's the laws in the Western world these days. You know, you can't even, you know, spank a kid on the butt or all the rest of it like we
You know
did.
what? I've got a sorry to interrupt. I've got a complete different. So my parents, I got in trouble in school. I had a spanking a couple times when I was in school, but they called my mom. They're like, "Hey, Lost did this. He did that. Is it okay for us to discipline him? And this is how we're going to discipline him. You do spankings, or you can have detention, or not detention, but a suspension from like school, right?" So of course they called my mom's like, "Yeah, just spank his ass, basically." Now, as a father now, and I have a daughter, not a son, I think it would actually be reversed. I do not want any person laying hands on my daughter. Versus if I had a son, I'd probably tell you to like smack him, right? I think so. I don't know whether that's right or wrong. I don't know for sure, but I just know I don't want another person to lay hands on my daughter. I find that to be completely a boundary that is not acceptable for me.
Shame on the people pushing the narrative that discipline is a no-no, stupid. Chris is, right? The teacher
Mm.
cannot discipline the students nowadays. It's like, what happened, people?
I got disciplined like 3 times in high school many moons ago, and I can honestly say I deserved every 3 of those. I got disciplined by my, and that was a ruler, a 3 foot, bamboo ruler, or it wasn't bamboo, whatever it was, and the choice was you want on the back of your hands or the front of your hands. And
Mhm.
I got disciplined by my father for disrespecting my mother when he got home from a long work trip, and it put me on the ground, open-handed. But he put me on the ground, in the kitchen. I remember it to this day, so many years ago. And all of those times I look back and go, yeah, I deserve that because it was just disrespectful, and
Mhm.
all that has gone these days. It really has.
It's
And that,
gone.
you know,
It's different.
You know what I
it's
find
wrong.
fascinating? You're an Australian, right? If I'm recalling
Yeah.
properly.
Oh,
I find all Australians I've ever talked to, online, and the ones I've met here in the USA or other places in my travels, like Australian people seem, for lack of a better term, conservative, right? They seem like they all had kind of these hard upbringings with their parents, smacking them around, not in not violent ways, like just like the normal discipline type of shit. Just normal
Hmm.
mhm.
discipline seem like all Australians that I've met, like at probably a 100% rate, but yet going political here, y'all have allowed the Australian government just to completely roll over you guys. I just find it insane
Absolutely
that
agree, mate. Absolutely agree. It has changed in the last 20 years. We've gone from what we would class as a relatively normal, low level disciplinary, oh crap, I shouldn't have done that and all the rest of it. I'll stay out of trouble and and that. Now it's got to the point where if you're under 18, the kids know exactly what they can get away with, with the laws and the police and all the rest of the stuff. So they're kicking and beating, the elderly in car parks of shopping centers and all the rest of the stuff. It's just disgusting, the stuff that's going on. And then, you get a whole bunch of people
is
go,
that a
oh, why do you want to leave Australia? Well, hello. It's just like,
can I ask? Well, I know y'all's population is like way smaller than USA. Is that more of a big city issue, or is it smaller towns having that kind of issue also?
no, yeah, no, look, I pondered that a couple of years ago, and I looked into the demographics and stuff like that. Some of our smallest towns, even right in the middle of Australia, in the middle of the desert, basically, they've got the highest, teen crime rates and stuff like that than anywhere else, in Australia, let alone the planet. It,
Do y'all states kind of get to set the rules? Like here in America, each state, obviously we have federal laws that we have to each state have to follow, but then each state can kind of have their own state law that may not apply to other states. As an example, like we have some states. I live in Texas at the moment. Like we have
yep.
some states you can see falling apart, from terrible decisions, and then you see other states just thriving due to better decisions. Maybe not the best, but still better decisions.
Most of our state laws are very, very similar. The federal laws are basically, we only have one set of federal laws, which is through the ACT, which is technically the capital of Australia, which is, the federal laws only look at, high level crime, high level stuff and all and that. But what's happening on the ground to people, your normal day to day living people and stuff like that is is looked after by, the local police, and they're all fairly similar,
Mm.
and they all have fairly similar problems, and their hands are tied behind their backs by laws that are, yeah, set by the federal government, but just it passes down to local government and stuff like that. You know, Look, I'm probably going to get crucified for saying all this shit. Sorry, Timmy, but
No,
it's
the reason I bring it up because like here in the states, obviously Australia and well, most Western countries. Let's get real. Most Western countries are having very similar problems. I think where here in America, where you can see where some states or cities, for example, have like worse problems with this versus others is y'all don't have obviously the American Constitution to kind of back yourselves up, kind of like we do here in America, where we have kind of a. I mean, obviously, I think the same thing happened, like during '60s, '70s, and the '80s, where the what I call the progressives, they kind of why I say they won the culture war because they took over the education system, and they got into our schools, got into our universities, and they pushed their type of agendas like spanking is bad, we can go down whole list of that. But it seems like it happened in Australia a little bit faster, and then since the political structure
Well,
seems to be different, it seems like
the
they're able to hold that and wield that political power a little stronger than say in the states.
we were behind the US on a lot of those things, but the uptake of all this leftist stuff and all the rest of it happened rapidly, and now we're pretty much caught up with the US, systems and stuff like that, or the way things are happening and stuff like that. You know, if you don't watch your P's, Q's, and all the rest of it, and work out, what you can say in public and all the rest of it, just like, are you, male, female, gay, lesbian, and all the rest of the stuff, or whatever you want, binary, I'm lost, you know.
No, I'm lost.
Um, people are just these days, yeah, Australia has caught up with the US in that regard.
I'd say y'all
And
caught up and then surpassed us. As best I can tell, I'm not no expert on it, but just
I
kind
don't,
of.
I don't know about surpass, but we're definitely, tracking side by side at the moment,
And well,
because
I'll give my
we've only got
reason. I'll give my
we've only
reason
got
for.
26 million people, mate. In a country that's the size of the US.
Yeah, I guess there's
Um,
a smaller population. Let me give my reasoning for why I say that. That smaller population will easier to control. But COVID being an example, I mean, y'all actually had concentration style camps that y'all were putting people in for not getting vaccinated. Whereas here, it might have been just, well, you'll lose your job or something like that. I think y'all are way more authoritarian on those
Yeah, well,
types of things.
again, that's the media for you. Like you go down south, down to Melbourne. You couldn't go within more than 5 k's of home and all the rest of it. But up where I was and stuff like that, oh, you going to the doctor? Yeah, that's cool. You going to get food from the supermarket? Yeah, that's fine, and all the rest of it. It was, but Western Australia, across the other side of Australia, they basically cut themselves off from the rest of Australia. So it was so disjointed and all the rest of the stuff. There was no cohesion whatsoever. So
Gotcha.
my the way I got around it was I got on a plane and I got the hell out of here.
Yeah,
Um,
one way to
got
do it.
yeah,
Luckily, I lived
if
in
you're going.
luckily I lived in Texas, or I might have done the same thing.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And look, Asia, you only got to look at Southeast Asia and look at the differences, between Thailand,
Where did
Singapore,
you
Philippines, Malaysia.
where'd you flee to?
Quite a few different places. I basically, as things got worse in different places in Southeast Asia, I would jump to the next country and stuff. And
Oh, okay.
so I was
Oh,
all
okay.
over the place, and eventually came back to Oz when it was, all things were, in Queensland anyway, were starting to get lifted. So it was just a matter of keeping my own sanity, and getting the work done. You know,
There you
um,
Well, good for you. I'm glad.
yeah.
I'm glad you had that flexibility. A lot of people do not, so that's good.
Yeah, but there's like Timmy was saying before, or someone was saying, I think it was Timmy, um, you know, psychologists and psychiatrists were making absolute, millions hand over fist dealing with people that just couldn't deal with, you know, being locked in their homes and all the rest of it across Australia. They were going nuts, to put it politely,
Yeah. Well,
trying
good for them.
to well, yeah, yeah, for those guys. Um, and companies were going broke trying to change from, a standard workplace to a remote workplace, and that. It was really, really sad to see. And we're still seeing, in a huge way, companies are just trying to decide at the moment, do we go back to, centralized workplaces, or do we stay remote and all the rest of it? Um, you know, I was lucky in that I got out of, having to travel for work to being able to work remotely no matter where I was before COVID. Sorry, before the bug started. Sorry, I don't want Timmy's stream to get, COVID. I'm sorry. rubber stamped with that. You know, in the editing side of my world. So yeah, I can pretty much work from anywhere, but I'm, at the moment trying to do my best to get out of it altogether. I'm too old for this crap. But it's I really feel for the people, in their mid-20s to mid-30s with mortgages and all the rest of the stuff that have gone through the virus and all the rest of the stuff and trying to pick up work and all the rest of it and get their lives back to normal. The rate of, the banks are shutting everything down and all the rest of it. If you're a couple of payments behind, we're going to repo your car or your house and all the rest of it. It's just like, damn, what's next? And that's a worldwide thing, forget the wars and all the rest of it that are happening. It sucks. I hate being old, but I'm I'm glad that I'm out of that side of it. I got spat out the other side of it, and I'm just packing up my stuff and heading back to the Philippines shortly.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask your age?
Me? Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, man. Yeah, I was. I just turned 60. But my mind wise, I'm probably in my mid 40s and stuff. I've always been that way.
Yeah. Oh, I'm
Very
50 and
active.
I'm like a 16 or 18-year-old.
Yeah, absolutely. I I I did 2 degrees and all the rest of it, and I don't know whether that was a good or bad thing, but it got me a job straight out of university, in a very large company in Toronto, in Canada. I got picked out of university, and I've been in the movie industry ever since. So, and now I'm just doing my best to get out of it.
What is this Chris said? Let me read this. The education system is designed to build up a workforce that will stay mostly in middle class, that pay the majority of the taxes, and to live rat race life. Well, it is what it is.
Yes, I got.
Yeah, that's how the school system started. What is it, the Rockefellian school system? I think all that's changed, but that is true. I mean, the school systems are kind of designed to
Mm.
help people get into the, well, maybe not help, but design them to be in the workforce. I guess is a better way. But I believe all that's actually changed now.
Actually, yeah, thanks, Timmy.
Yeah.
I was just reading that one. Absolutely. I remember my father telling me about that. Because my parents are not Australian. Well, weren't Australian. They're both passed now. Every Australian would know, understand the document. Absolutely agree. Um, the governments and stuff like that. Again, I'll probably get crucified. Whatever. I don't really give a flying fruit bat. What whether I get shut down, cut off, whatever. Hate mail. But yeah, I mean, the government these days has zero clue what the country needs, let alone versus what people think they need and all the rest of the stuff to survive. I mean, the US and the EU and stuff at the moment are going, hang on, oh crap, China's turning to poop. We need to bring manufacturing back and all the rest of it. While Australia's going, oh, let's just suck up to China and all the rest of the stuff. We'll be okay and all the rest of it. Guess what? No, we won't. China's a sinking ship at the moment. I don't care what anybody says. There's so much there's so much information to prove it out there. We've actually done a U-turn where, the EU, the US and Australia used to manufacture absolutely everything ourselves. And it was only Japan that started mass production. So we're all actually doing a slow U-turn and all the rest of the stuff. You know, and if that's what it takes to bring the world back into some sort of, normality, so be it. Just God forbid, there's no bloody wars in between it.
Mm.
It's scary.
Just to,
Yeah.
to society
No,
and
you're right.
technology. So
You're
that
right,
I know.
Graham. Absolutely.
Yeah, Graham. Why Australia does have a constitution. It was first delivered at Federation in 1901.
Sorry, I was just reading a bit further down, Timmy. George Carlin was an absolute perfectionist in comedy and telling what was, anybody that happens to be listening at the moment, go to George Carlin and watch his comedy specials or his comedy in general. Absolutely everything was on point, but with absolute brevity and comedy. I'm sorry, I'm old school, but
I
he
actually
just
got to see
told
him
it
in
like it
concert.
was.
I saw one of his live shows one time. It's been
Oh,
30 years, maybe.
Hey, Bruce is in the house.
yeah. Kuya
G'day, mate.
Bruce is there. Hello, Kuya Bruce. Welcome. What Mike Whitcomb said, McDonald's increased their hourly wage to $15 and still can't get full. Oh, $15 per bars.
I didn't see that, Timmy. Sorry. But I think we're at 21 or $23 Australian, as the basic wage, for your basic pizza joint or whatever, or you know, cash
That is a
register operator
minimum.
and
That
stuff
is
like
a
that.
minimum
Yeah,
wage.
yeah, the
Is that?
minimum wage
Oh,
set by the government. And you think, oh well, that's a lot of money, but no, it's not these days. It's crazy.
yeah.
You
It's
know,
not these days.
your average rent is $450 to $500 a week, not a month, a week, in Australia, to rent, one or two rooms. And it's just like, how many hours you got to do to survive just to make rent, let alone eat and all the rest of the stuff. It's crazy.
Hmm. Yeah.
The minimum wage in the USA is a weird thing because you have, and I like to use Mississippi as a reason for my argument because one of the reasons I lived there for a little while. But this is a poor state. Like most, probably a lot of people don't even make 15 bucks. I think like the median salary in Mississippi is something like 35,000, where the rest of the USA, if you take it as a whole, is something like 50, right around 50. So you're talking about someone having a $15 an hour job in Mississippi would not be considered that bad. So you can't pay a McDonald's cashier 15 bucks an hour. I mean that'd be kind of crazy. But obviously places like San Francisco, New York, $15 probably ain't enough. That's why I think states and localities need to set up their own minimum wages.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah,
Banquet comes in,
yeah,
agreed, and we manufacture very little now, rely on China too much.
absolutely, Mike. Yeah, absolutely. And the whole planet is, except for Germany, which is the second, either the top or the second largest, um, reliant on Chinese imports. Um, Everybody else is slowly but surely backing out. Um, the US does it in a weird way, but with sanctions and all the rest of the stuff. But everybody is slowly but surely, whether it's fast enough, I don't know. Um, Everybody's slowly backing out and bringing manufacturing back to their own home ground. Taiwan's with MSI and TSI and a couple of other chip manufacturers, they're moving back to the US, but that's 3 to 5 years away. We could have a war between, now and then. You know,
Well, they're diversified. They're not necessarily pulling out of China. They're just making sure they have other chip manufacturing places. So if something goes down in one area, the whole world won't have to suffer for it. Like when that hurricane came through Puerto Rico a few many years ago, I can't remember the name of the way. Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico produced something like 90% or something of IV bags. If you didn't know, and it like was there was a crisis around the world. I mean, that didn't get a whole lot of coverage, but then they realized, oh, we got to make IV bags more than one area of the world.
yeah,
So,
yeah, absolutely. But what most people don't get is with Taiwan, there's two distinct levels of chip manufacture. There's one, there's the garden variety stuff that, dries your microwave or your washing machine and stuff like that. And yeah, China can make those and all the rest of it. But the really high end stuff is only manufactured by one or two, I think it's two companies in Taiwan, and they're absolutely going hell for leather to rebuild those places in the US um, at the moment, but it's 3 to 5 years away, and mainland China, forget Hong Kong, don't get me started on that one. um, they're going hell for leather to build those plants and get the actual machinery to make the chips, which comes out of the EU. I won't say where, otherwise people will get upset. The machinery to make those chips comes out of the EU, is going into the US at the moment, but it's 3 to 5 years away before they can actually manufacture the same level of chips that can do AI and Teslas and all the rest of the stuff. Um, what happens we're in no man's land at the moment, and that's why there's so much disparity in across the 9-dash line between mainland China and Taiwan, the Philippine Islands, and all the rest of the stuff. It's just, I tell you what, we are in scary times. Most, and that doesn't make the mainstream news. That's why I don't even bother watching it. I pick and choose my media very, very selectively to find out what is really going on with who and all the rest of it. Because it takes sometimes a week or a month before mainstream media picks it up, and before you know it, it could be in the middle of a bloody, interplanetary war. But that's, it's crazy. All I can say is I hope everybody just bites their bottom lip, and people just shut the hell up and let things move along the way they should be moving along, and everybody makes their own stuff like we used to do 20, 30 years ago, and everybody can survive on their own. If they can't, well, okay, we do a little bit of trade here and there. But if you can't, well, work it out, buy it, don't steal
Yeah.
it. I mean, that's why the US is
You know
moving
why?
back into the Philippines, in 6 places. It's just madness, absolute madness. It just drives me crazy.
Madness. You know why people rely on China? Because it is affordable.
Yeah, it's affordable,
Affordable.
Timmy, because
cheap
your
living.
average
Yeah.
your average your average person in China lives on $3,000 a month. You know,
Mm.
it's that is a scary small amount of money. You know,
Mm. Because
I
it is
think you said that wrong.
affordable.
Were you
And
trying to say they live on $3,000 a year? What were you trying to say? What were you?
yeah.
yeah,
Sorry,
I thought a
yeah,
month.
in 12 months. Yeah,
I was
no,
like, I
sorry.
was like, I was like a
Oh.
month. That'd be pretty good in Mississippi.
What Graham said, all governments run on the belief that the average citizen has no clue about how or what politicians do.
That's absolutely true, because most politicians have unable or incapable of doing normal manual labor and have any idea of how the world works. So they go, "Oh, I've got a
Yeah.
piece of paper. I'm wonderful. I'll be a politician." And dictate as to what the world can do. It's just like, oh, give me a
Yeah.
break. You useless mob. Anyway,
That was
I'll shut
happened
up.
when that was happened before internet discovered. But now that internet is all over the world, the government can no longer fool the people for what they're doing. People know,
Can you?
but some people take notice, some people don't.
Yeah, I was going to say, bring that one up. Yeah, actually, that was a combination of Australia and the US. ET. Um, I mean, Australia
EU.
invented Wi-Fi and a whole bunch of other things. The Hills hoist and the Ute and all the rest of it, and
Oh,
nanotechnology.
nanotechnology is from
Um,
EU.
yeah, and we just put it this way: the best of the best in Australia. We go to either Canada or the US, and you know trade or do whatever from there. Um,
Hmm.
um, yeah, no, it's scary. It really is scary. But China steals 60% of its intellectual property. So it's like,
Well, they can copy stuff so fairly, right? It seems like you cannot know that this is not an original. It's like,
well, that's
wow,
it. That's Yeah. I mean, they
they
copy a
can
percentage
fabricate
of
it
it,
so
but
well.
yeah. But the IP theft is 60% or more from the US and other countries. It's
Mm.
because we just don't lock our stuff down well enough. Graham, sign a great middleman. Yeah. Middleman got a lot of money, do very little. Yep.
International trade is designed to create middlemen. Middlemen men can make a lot of money yet do very little. The poor workers make stuff, while the middle class in the West are convinced they need it.
Hmm. Yeah. 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 Absolutely. I agree, Graham. Up until the last probably 10 years, where what is now our middlemen, um, like my son that's now in his 30s, you know, coming
Hmm.
into his 30s, um, what I see anyway, I could be wrong, just what I see, they live in a world of, you know, okay, I want this, I want that, um, you know, just grab what I want. I've got my 3 degrees, I'll go and do what I want and stuff like that. When it comes to actually manufacturing and making things and stuff like that, no one wants to put their hands on stuff these days and physically make stuff.
You know
When
what?
you've got the likes of,
The thing I cannot understand with this kind of manufacturing things like Chris is that, for example, a newly graduate person that has a good school records, that has a good grades, that for example he graduated as being magna cum laude or cum laude or
mm,
whatever higher grades he has, and he is a board passer, then he enter into a business, he enter into a kind of you enter into an office, you need to handle all the stuff there. And they will on a higher position in an instant. Shouldn't be
mm,
the company should take a higher position from a very kinds of work from their labors, because the labors are experience.
yeah,
Experience over
yeah.
what you
If
I
you
mean,
learn in
if
I
you
would,
school
I
is
would, I would
different from the
say,
actual work.
that could be potentially a trick question. The thing is, me being in the labor force, if you will, I do construction work. Most construction guys, I'm sorry, are not meant to be management type material. They just aren't. So yes, a construction company is going to hire a graduate right out of college to be management because he knows how to do that stuff. Now he can't do some of the physical work. He shouldn't be telling guys exactly how something should be done, but he has the capability of managing people. So I would, where I do, agree with you to a certain degree. Yeah, he shouldn't be taking over particular roles if he hasn't had the experience. That kind of stuff I do agree with. But these potentially, if you're saying, the mountain, the top of the class type of guys. I mean, obviously they're going to get treated. These are hyper intellectual people, so companies are willing to take chances on them.
Yeah, but that's where they go wrong. They need to take those people that are highly educated and all the rest of it and throw them into the workforce for a period of time so they understand that this is how the systems work. This is the problems that you're going to, they don't teach you in university and all the rest of it. This bolt doesn't fit this nut or whatever. And then, right, okay. You still want the job? Right. Okay. Let's put you back into that position. Now that you understand that, the nuts and bolts of, of industry, I went through that, I started off as an instrument maker and a maintenance fitter, and then I went to university twice. What an idiot I was. And then I got picked up. It was only the fact that I had that boots on the ground experience that I could talk to engineers that only had a piece of paper and say, yeah, that's a great idea, but that's not going to work in practice. So, there's got to be that crossover, and we've lost that. When we get back to that and we start manufacturing our own stuff in all countries, everybody's capable, some of the best people that I've met come out of Asia, the Philippines and Singapore and stuff like that. They're so smart, but they don't get a chance to actually put their stuff into practice. Once they do and go, oh, shit, that's how it really works. Or if I do this, this will break that. Once they get past those steps and then get back into management, then things start to work properly. There's got to be that intermix of education and hands-on, and we've lost that. We've got to get that back.
Yeah. What is Chris said? When China tried to copy the BMW 7 Series and Rolls-Royce, it was a massive fail. Oh, then they
Yeah, but
lost that mastery.
look, you can go and buy a Suzuki Swift or whatever, and they will put whatever badge you want on it. I've got friends that spend 10 to 15 years in China, on the ground, everything from teaching English to, a motorcycle business. One of them bought a vehicle. There was a direct copy of a Suzuki Swift from Japan, and they said, what badge would you like on it, sir? Everything from Isuzu to BMW to whatever you wanted. But at the end of the day, it was a piece of garbage. After 20,000 kilometers, 12,000 odd miles for the Americans, it was falling apart. It was just a copy. One of my other friends, wanted to export motorcycles, 125cc copy of a Suzuki. No, sorry, it was a Honda. But
How
it was a
dare
copy.
you use the metric system against me? How dare you?
That's funny. We know you Americans want the system that nobody else uses anymore. But anyway, we'll bypass that. But one of my other friends, wanted to export to Canada, basically lots of 100 of copies of a Honda 125cc motorcycle. They said, yeah, no, that's no problems. How many do you want? And what day do you want it on? And he was like, what are you talking about? Well, you can have it either next Wednesday or next Friday, depending on the quality level that you want. He was just like, he was lost, totally lost. They're their copy and production systems were so finely tuned. It was just like they could have the stuff in a shipping container, literally within, 7 days, just by, tweaking their production lines. So, most people don't get just, I mean, this is before the whole, economic collapse of China that's, in the process of happening at the moment. But, it's interesting to see how a country like that can just pick up and grab stuff and run with it and say, how many do you want and when do you want it? It's just like, oh my God. And that's why we don't make crap in our own countries anymore.
Kuya Bruce said Mississippi does have a lot of poverty. I'm thankful to be doing okay, but I worked most of my life to be where I am now. Many here have not been as fortunate as I have been. Oh, you are fortunate, thank Kuya Bruce. Good for you. And was it?
Just looking at Mike's like post. Yeah, some people call them what are they? Freedom units, because America's the last people on the planet not to go
Yeah.
metric.
Just make
I
sure you
like
don't ride with the ocean gate going there.
Bruce, I meant to ask you many moons ago. A lot of our company's equipment was Omnimax, and we did a lot of dome stuff along with a couple of Japanese and one American company did star projection systems, which you would be well aware of, obviously. I don't know where you were working and whether you had an Omnimax as well, but yeah, curious to know whether you had what the star system projection system was that you used in your dome, and where you were and whether you had an Omnimax as well. We looked after a lot of those. Well, built and maintained a lot of those. Some of our guys. So yeah, cool. Sorry, Timmy. Completely off
No,
topic,
it's okay.
but it's just like, oh crap, Bruce is here.
Yeah, Kuya Bruce is there. I'm replying him. This, what is? Kidding,
Yeah,
Kuya.
Mike.
He's.
Sorry,
Oh, it's okay.
I was just looking at
It's
Mike's.
fast.
Couldn't figure out. Yeah, that's what I don't understand. The metric system is so easy. Everything is in ones, zeros, and tens and hundreds. Liters or millimeters or meters or centimeters. It's all multiples of 10. It's so easy. Kids in kindergarten can work it out. Just like
Yeah.
I got a thing on my fridge that's works out gallons and pounds and all the rest of the stuff.
Stuck with soft drinks. What is stuck with the soft drinks? I read somewhere that the real reason the US didn't change to metric is because after World War II, the large manufacturing tycoons did not want to spend money on retooling. Oh, is it?
Yeah. Yeah, I heard that at one point they tried to change to the metric system. I think it was when the Japanese were tooling up. The Japanese has always been metric. And when they pushed manufacturing to the US, they tried to go across to it, but I think it
Mm-hmm.
was the tool companies and all the rest of it just like couldn't get and it's not that they couldn't get their head around it. I mean, it's not
No,
hard
I,
to get
I
your head
actually
around
heard that.
metric.
Heard that same thing. Like tools, machinery, everything was done by the English standard, American standard, whatever it's called.
Yeah,
They didn't
yeah.
want to change. Yeah, and the only thing actually, personally, that I don't use metric for is just the distance stuff, miles. I use inches and feet. I mean, I use that. I'm in construction, so this is like a daily thing for me. Yeah, I've
Yeah,
used them.
yeah.
I've worked in down in Mexico before and some other place where they use the metric system. It's not hard to grab a metric tape measure to do it. I don't disagree with that. It's not a difficult system to learn. But yeah, I kind of heard that same thing. It's just like, hey, at the time, World War II, manufacturing was probably at its height ever, and everything was just done in the American standard. So it's like, oh yeah, you want to change everything? But
Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Bruce. Okay, yeah, I know the Minolta system quite well, which didn't leave you a lot of leeway to change to anything else. Yeah, yeah. Look, God, it's frustrating because okay, the US is such a huge place, but so is Australia. And we just went. When I was going through school, I had to learn imperial and metric because we were in the middle of the changeover. Because obviously we're just, from the UK basically. We're just, um, everybody calls us bloody, we're just criminals from the UK. Yeah, that's fine.
What?
Um, yeah, no, well, Timmy, all the criminals from the UK, they used to put on ships and send them to Australia. That's how we were technically colonised, but that was before my time.
Oh, colonization. Yeah.
My lineage is Swiss and German, so that was way after that.
that's
But
even worse.
anyway,
Jeez, you just call yourself a criminal.
hey, look, that's only the land I'm sitting on. Like I said, my lineage is Swiss and German. I'm not proud of the German side of it because some of them were nasty critters and all the rest of it. But anyway, won't go into that. Bruce, yeah, no
Kapuso.
problems. Metric, yeah, look, it's easy. 100 mile an hour. Just take your first number and divide it by 6. So 100, 60 mile an hour. Oh, sorry, 100 mile an hour is. Oh God, put my teeth back in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100
you
Uh,
miles,
use miles.
100 kilometers is 60, or excuse me,
that's
shit, did I say
right.
it backwards too? 60 miles an hour is 100 kilometers. Yeah,
That's exactly
yeah.
right. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
basically take 0.6. I think it was like 0.632,
yeah.
whatever the
Point
fuck it is.
six
But yeah,
one three or whatever it is. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Yeah, and you can reverse it whichever way you like, depending on where you live. But I just
yeah.
wish everybody would. I don't care either metric or imperial. I just wish we would all be the same.
This is where, Chris, that was where you put the conversion table. You need to convert the miles to meter, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Miles to kilometer and kilometer to meter. I think that's how it is.
Well, it
But
works
yeah,
out pretty well actually. Like if you're doing 60 kilometers an hour, it's actually
Ah,
you divide it by 6, so it's 36 point with 6 divided by it's 36.63, which is roughly 35 mile an hour. So it all works out reasonably well. But why should we have to do that?
I know
Uh,
you're trying to be logical, but let's be real here. Most people can't do that simple math.
yeah, I guess
Whether
so.
it's
Yeah,
whether it's metric, American standard, none of that even matters. Most people, you hand them any kind of yardstick, metric stick type of thing, they can't even figure it the fuck out.
yeah. No, look, I get it, mate. I get it. I remember my earliest memory was my mother giving me a penny, which was the same as the UK penny. I was in a pram it was like I said, it was the earliest thing that I
penny.
remember in life. She gave me a penny and said, "Keep this because it's the last thing that you will, it's the last time it will be used. And I was like 3 years old or something like that, 2 or 3 years old, because we were going from the UK system to the metric or the dollar system in Australia. It was worth like 2 cents or something Australian. It was worth nothing, 2 or 3 cents. And from that point, my whole schooling was, all right, this is the imperial system and this is the metric system. You got to learn both. We're in the middle of changing over at the moment, and it was a right pain in the ass, and that's putting it politely. But as much as I hate to say it, when I was doing my apprenticeship before I went to uni, we had to, the Colchester lathes, the mills, and all the rest of the stuff, and the instrument fitted section. Everything was 50-50 metric and imperial. But eventually, by the end of it, it was all metric. So, there's not too many places left on the planet that are still using the imperial system. Maybe, just hopefully, fingers crossed, maybe after I'm long dead, toes up in the sand on a beach in Boracay, the Americans will actually go metric.
Boracay. Chris, Boracay is crowded. Go to Antique or Guimaras. There are lovely places there, untouched
Yeah.
and not
Sorry.
crowded. Totally
Sorry, Tim.
fresh.
I was just using that as a metaphor.
Yeah, metaphor. Mike Whitcomb says, I just don't know why it's stuck with soft drinks and now all soft drinks referred to by liters.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's an ounce too, and ml, not just
Yeah, but what I don't
500
get is
ml.
every country. I just came back from Japan and Bangkok. Um, there's our cans of Coke here in Australia, or Coke Zero. Hang on a second. There's one right here in front of me. Is what does it say? Recycle me. Yeah. Okay. Very good. It's 300 milliliters, but I think it's 300 or 320. Damn, they've taken the number off. Bastards. But yeah, it's 20 milliliters different in Bangkok and it's 10 milliliters different in the Philippines. I'm like, yeah, okay, you're all metric, but why the hell make it different? Coca-Cola and all the rest of it. Get your act together, and obviously there's some
There's
brainstorm.
I heard, I don't know if this is true. This is only what I've heard, is like the different countries, like how like some places will do. Well, here in the States we have ounces for the most. We do most things will say both liters and ounces or gallons or quarts. Anyway, beyond that is certain countries, and I know this because Colombia apparently does this. They make sure things are actually shown in the smaller units, like milliliters and shit like that, for those smaller cans. It's like some kind of weird thing they do to show versus the bigger amount of some. I can't remember how it is exactly, but apparently different countries get to kind of set the standard on how to mark the containers. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Grim said,
yeah.
conversions are only difficult when you try to keep it that old system in your head. Physics, for example, I no longer try to convert pesos into dollars. We use pesos here, so there is no point.
Yeah. Well, that depends on how you get paid, or how much money
Yeah.
whether you've got a US dollars or Australian dollars or pesos in the bank. If you've
Yeah.
got pesos or nothing but pesos in the bank, it doesn't matter a rat's bum. But if you've got US dollars, you've got to look at what the daily rate is.
But
Yeah, it's weird, and like Bruce said, sorry, Tammy. Yeah, a
mhm,
lot of people do have difficulty in doing the conversion, but get with
conversion.
the rest of the planet. There's only the US and I think one or two other very small countries that have resisted the change to metric because it is just so easy to work from liters to kiloliters to milliliters to kilograms and all the rest of it. It's all products of
Mm.
tens or ones and all the rest of the stuff. Even the damn Philippines went, oh, we've had enough of these pounds and ounces, and went, let's go metric. That was years and years ago.
Yeah, hey, I don't disagree with that. I don't, I'm okay either way, to be honest with you. But if you were to say, like, right now, hey, we're changing to the metric system, I personally have to spend a lot of money getting these old.
Sorry, what was that, mate? It dropped out.
Oh, okay.
My link.
No, I was trying to say, if we change the metric system, which I'm okay with, I don't care. Numbers are numbers to me. But I would
Yep.
actually have to spend a lot of money in tools. I would have to change everything, so it would actually cost me money
Right.
to
Yeah,
do it.
yeah.
Now imagine that's one person. That's for me. And imagine giant corporations who are making the gallon jugs, or all the tape measures, or all the machinery that's set up in one way. I mean, it's not so
Yeah,
simple to say,
yeah.
hey, let's just change it. It would be so easy. I mean, look at the difficulties people have problems when they change a street name. These corporations, all the shit they got to go through just for a street name change.
Yeah. No, look, I hear you. I mean, look, our tape measures here in Australia have all got metric and imperial on them, because some people, eventually they'll disappear, but some people still, work in feet and inches and all the rest of the stuff. But on the other side of the tape measure, it's always got, millimeters
Yeah,
and centimeters and meters and all the rest of the stuff.
yeah.
It's like you go and buy a drill or whatever, 3/8, half inch and all the rest of the stuff, which I'm happy to, I can convert in my head and all the rest of it, 8 millimeters, 12 millimeters, or 12.5 millimeters, 25.4 millimeters to the inch, blah, 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 and all the rest of it. But
But
most
Chris,
of the
I think
people,
if you study engineering, those millimeters still have a very, very small measurement. Those millimeters
yeah,
lines, still there
yeah,
is a
absolutely.
measurement. What the heck is this?
Yeah, but
That's
I
why I
had to
hate
learn that
maths.
growing up. Before I got to university, I already knew that stuff because we were
Oh.
in the midst of a changeover. I pity the kids these days that have to, that have known nothing but metric, but have to go, oh crap, if I'm going to work in the US or somewhere else that uses imperial, they've actually got to go backwards. Okay, backwards is the wrong word. They've got to go sideways and learn the imperial system, half an inch, 12.5 millimeters, or an inch, 25.4, millimeters. It's
Yeah.
difficult. I don't care either way. I just wish everybody would get on the same page. Just like some people listening would know that there's 55-degree pitch and there's 6-degree pitch on a thread, depending on whether it's metric or imperial, that screws into a nut, or screws into something that's been threaded. It's just like, oh, give me a break. Can't everybody get on the same plane? And so there's no stuff doesn't go wrong, because at the end of the day, if someone gets it wrong, the pitch of a thread or something like that, if that's wrong, and if it happens to be on an aircraft or a spaceship or something like that, and they get it wrong,
Mhm.
and it has been done wrong, the Russians did it wrong, and it blew shit up, and people died, all because people didn't get the conversion right. So let's all
You're
just get on the same plane. I don't care what it is.
you're talking Greek the most. I understand what you're saying, but you're talking Greek to most people. Most people like, what the fuck is he talking about? A pitch and a degree and
Sorry about that. I went off on a bit of a tangent.
nah, no, it's all good. No, I mean, listen, I get it. Like I said, I'm not against it. To me, numbers are numbers. If you want me to do the metric system, do the American standard, or y'all want to come up with something new, I don't give a shit. I know I'll be able to figure it out. It won't be hard. So it's just kind of the way. That's just my
You,
position on it. You want?
you know what annoys me the most is the the UK imperial system was, it was the standard, you know, and then America took that system and they changed it slightly. Like, why change it? It's just like that way. Now we've got three standards. Well, actually, the UK dropped their standard, but for a while there we had three standards. Now we've got two. So that's kind of manageable. Um, but yeah, it's just like, okay, I get it. People don't want to change for monetary reasons and all the rest of the stuff. But well, luckily, you take people like Ford and huge
Mm.
parts of GM and stuff like that are getting stuff made in Thailand and places like that where everything's metric anyway. I think it's only inevitable that probably the last thing in the US that'll change to metric will be the signs on the side of the road that says what speed you're doing.
Yeah, by far,
100%.
distance. The measurements of distance will be the last thing to actually change because we already use so much of the metric systems, in other areas, like liters
Mm,
being an example, and that kind of stuff. It's just distance, just miles, inches, feet, that kind of stuff. That's
Yeah.
the main thing. I mean, we already have
yeah.
roads near Mexico and near Canada because I've been on them before that actually for say 20 to 30 miles worth of road are actually all done in the metric system just because of the
Yeah.
people coming
Yeah.
in. They'll have it in both just so I guess you're coming in, you get an idea of your travel speed. I guess they want you to know, hey, this is the speed limit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've
Yeah.
said education
I
is
mean,
necessary for people to make the change. Many here haven't been willing to do that. Oh, in the
mm,
US,
They
they
yeah.
haven't
stuck
wanted
with
to
the
make the
old.
change. I mean, it's more than just like, hey, let's change it. I mean, there, like I said, there's money. It's not just change. It's not just grabbing this tape measure that I have in my hand right now and saying, okay, we're going to go for the metric. I'd have to go get a whole new tape measure. And that guy, people have to manufacture all the new tape measures. It's not just something like, hey, let's just change right now.
Yeah, but that's crazy. I mean, our tape measures for the last 30 years or more have had metric on one side and imperial on the other side. It's not rocket science to have to have both. To cater for both markets. Some people are smart enough to go, hey, if I print on both sides of it, I can sell it to the US, I can sell it to the UK, I can sell it to Australia and everybody else.
That would be a useless tool for me. Well, I'm talking about this tape measure that I have in my hand right now because the way it's curved, you can stretch it out and grab things or whatever. Like if you were to put metric on the other side, that would literally be useless for me.
No, I'm not
Yeah.
saying on the other side. I'm looking at one at the moment. There's a line down the middle. The top is in metric, and the bottom is imperial. The top is
Yeah.
in metric.
Oh,
Millimeters,
okay. I
centimeters,
see.
metric.
I see what you're saying. Actually, that would suck for me too because I have to use both sides of the tape measure, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily
Oh,
like that. Right? But like I
don't
said,
worry.
Here
for
in
me,
Look,
Asia,
all it
here
means is
in
I've got to put
Asia,
my
tape
glasses on to
measures
need it to read it.
like
Sorry, Timmy.
I said here in Asia, the tape measure is in meter, all right. But then at the backside of that is it measurement is in inches and centimeters. The
Yeah,
other
yeah.
side,
Most
yeah,
most of Asia, that was working in imperial for many years, but that was just local stuff. But once they got into serious manufacturing for export, they looked at the world and went, "Oh crap!" At that point, 2/3 of the planet had already gone metric. They went, "All right, we're just going to go with the flow." So they went metric as well. Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore, Philippines, and all that sort of
mm-hmm.
stuff. Philippines was probably the last resistance because of the US not influence, I'll
Influence.
say. Yeah, that's
Influence
the
of
one.
the US.
Um,
Yes.
yeah. But eventually they're just like, oh, crap, we're over this. We need to get with what the rest of the world's doing, and we're going to go metric. But even Australia was resistant. It took us a long time, even though there was a set date that we went from the UK imperial system to the metric system. All our, like speedometers in cars, from that
Yeah.
date on, still had imperial on one side and metric on the other side, so you could work out whether you were speeding or not and whether you got a ticket or not. Because Australia was still in the process of changing signs from 60 kilometres an hour to 35 mile an hour, or 100 kilometres an hour to 60 mile an hour, and all that sort of crap. So there was a lot of confusion for a long time, until it all got back, until it all got to metric. And there's parts of the world that are still doing that, you know.
Chris, if profit for shareholders is all that counts, well, who cares about measurement metrics?
Oh, I'm trying to read the bloody. I've got 3 screens running at the moment, and my buddy, I haven't got my glass. I can't find my glasses, so I can't read them. I'm trying to read the chat.
Yeah, Chris, if
It's,
profit for
can't
shareholders
afford
is all
them.
that counts, who cares about measurement
Yeah,
metrics?
yeah, Bruce, absolutely right there, mate. Yeah,
Business minded. That's what you call business.
yeah. Look, business minded is one thing, but I used to think, being business minded was savvy, but nowadays business minded is who's running the business, the CEO or the
Yeah.
CFO? You know,
For
if
me,
it's a financial officer,
for
it's just like that's way different.
but they don't know that the labor does all the hard work compared to those other in the higher position staff,
A-
right?
Absolutely, absolutely, Timmy. They always have, the guys
But
with the
nobody
hammers,
think
the
about
spanners, and
that.
all the rest of it. Yeah,
Hmm.
exactly. The only people that think about that is the CFO, not the CEO, the CFOs, the financial
Mm-hmm.
officers. All they care about is the bottom line. And that doesn't matter what country you're in. It's all about,
Mm-hmm.
profitabilities and all the rest of the stuff. It's just and unfortunately, some of those guys will kill really good companies off. You know.
Hang
Mm.
on, I want to give some pushback to this. Listen. I'm a small business owner. I don't have CFOs, CEOs, COOs,
Mm-hmm.
and all
Yep.
the C-suite stuff, right? But the thing being business minded is not a good idea. You're not going to ever be able to properly run a business. Like you just can't. Like I have employees, and I'm the guy who owns the business. I can't think about not making money. What would be the purpose of me even being here? I'm just give all my money away, or not make enough. And do me taking the risk, putting all the money into the company that I have is should I, the regular, let's say I have all the guys I have are skilled, but if I was to get just a regular laborer, does he take? And then his job is important. I'm not saying it's not important, but he didn't take no risk to set any of this
Yeah, but
up or
that's the
do any of this
difference,
stuff.
mate. You are the CEO and the CFO combined. You know your staff, you know their capabilities and all the rest of the stuff. You know what to pay them. You know what they can do, what they
Yeah,
can't do.
that is my argument. The CEO knows he needs to hire a CFO or the
Yeah,
COO
that's right.
or whatever.
I'm talking about the Googles, the Apples, and all the rest of it. Small to medium business and stuff like that don't need a CFO because you, as a CEO slash CFO slash guy with a hammer, whatever, you know the system and you know what your guys are worth and all the rest of the stuff, and that's how you keep turning money over. That's how
Okay,
you pay
yeah,
them. That's
yeah,
how you
yeah.
make a
Now,
profit.
now let's extrapolate that to a large giant company like a Google, Apple, Walmart, whatever. It's the same concept. If you're the CEO of that company, you're the person in charge of that company. You know you have to make the right moves and put people in the right position. Nobody's position is demeaned. Now we can talk about the problems with the greed of a corporation, or maybe they get particular bonus if they meet certain quotas, blah blah blah, that kind of stuff. But it's not like the CFO's job is just as important as the guy who's grabbing a hammer or carrying out the trash or sweeping the floor, whatever it might be, from the top to the bottom. All those positions are important. Maybe certain positions are a little more important than others, but it's not like one of them has less value than the other. So that my pushback is, it's not, you just can't like dismiss someone's particular job
There's
for
a
the
difference
financial
between
purposes.
perceived value and what the federal government or whatever says what you should get paid. There's unfortunately, people like yourself and myself see, like the guy pushing the broom, you should get paid the same guy that is hitting a hammer, building whatever and all the rest of it. He's working just as hard. But the governments these days, the systems and all the rest of it, don't see it that way.
I don't know why you're bringing the government. I
We're
don't know why you bring the government into it. I think as the person in charge, you see that a person pushing the broom, cleaning the bathrooms, for example, why should he be equally paid as someone who is the CFO, who's actually managing all the money, make sure you're having enough money, blah blah blah. I mean, do you think these type of jobs should be paid equal? Is that where you were going?
No, what I'm saying is the amount of effort put into a job, needs to be quantified. And what the government has done has quantified it, but they've done it wrong. There needs to be a system in place. I don't know what it is. I don't own a company and all the rest of it. I gave that away years ago, running my own little company. But what I'm saying is, like taking the US for instance, your average waiter, waitress, and all the rest of it, they live on tips, which to me is bullshit. In Australia, you get paid a minimum wage, and we're just starting to get into tipping now and all the rest of it. That's crap. They should get paid a minimum wage so they can live, they can pay their rent, they can pay their light bill, and all the rest of the stuff. I'm not saying they should be paid, CEO wages and all the rest of it. There's a sliding scale, but it's way out of balance depending on where you are on the planet. The guy taking the garbage out, if that's what he chooses to do, and he doesn't want to upskill himself and all the rest of it, well, that's what he's going to get paid. But who sets what he should get paid? That's the point I'm trying to make. Where is that dividing line?
Typically the companies, I mean, obviously there's a minimum wage. Let's just take the USA for example. I mean, maybe it's different in Australia. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like the government just sets a minimum wage, so you have to pay someone at least that. And then obviously there's different positions, where you have a skill. For example, if you have some type of skill in anything, you're going to get, especially if it's more rare skill. Let's say like trade. Like I'm a tradesman, right? We know right now in the world, and I'm sure it's probably happening in Australia, that there's a lack of tradesmen. So guess what? I get more money. I don't charge cheap. Well, let's just say that, right? It's because I have a very specific skill that is in demand, right? So should I be paid equal as a janitor?
No. That's why not at all. That's why I'm saying about the sliding scale. Yeah.
Maybe we're agreeing and misunderstanding.
At last you both agree in this thing. At last you both agree in this thing.
No, look, it's the same thing, but it's different, Timmy. The US and Australia, and the UK and stuff like that. We all have these varying degrees of sliding scales that, if you on face value, they look different and go, oh, that's not right. But when you get to the core of it, it's pretty much the same thing. The guy pushing the broom, if he doesn't want to do any more than that, he's going to get paid less.
If you're saying there's equal worth, like a janitor is just as worthy position as, say, a CFO, right? But they're not equal financially, because obviously there's a particular skill. You don't have I mean, you can to sound mean here. I mean, you can be an idiot and be a janitor, right? You can't be an idiot and be a CFO, right? He's got skill, he's
Yeah.
got the education, maybe
I don't
experience,
know.
Yeah.
whatever.
I've met quite a few idiot CFOs.
Yeah,
See,
yeah, of course. I'm not saying they're out there, but typically they have
yeah,
some
yeah.
kind of plaque
Sorry.
in mahogany or whatever.
Yeah,
They went through the paces for it.
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
listen, I
No,
get
look,
I get a lot of guys in the construction world here say they've got a X skill. I do this and that, and get them out here. They can't do shit. So I mean, there's a lot of that goes around.
yeah, yeah. No, I agree totally, mate. It's
Okay.
the same. It's the same, but different in Australia. You know, that's why I got out of Australia. Because it's so all over the place. Only to find that out of Canada and the US, it's just as bad but different. So
I would argue
um,
one of the problems right now is the fact that people of like basically don't have skills or the education are actually wanting equal pay to people that are the CEOs and CFOs when obviously
oh mate,
they don't
could not
demand that type of money. You know what I mean?
could not agree more. I mean, there's kids that are straight out of university and all the rest of it, and go, right, I've got my piece of paper, I'm qualified, I should be the CEO, and this is the amount of money that I should be paid. Why aren't you paying me? I'm like, are you serious? I'm just like, get some real world experience before you can even think about asking for that sort of thing. It's just crazy. You know, it's just like you got to work your butt off and get some real world experience before you can even think about that sort of thing, regardless of what piece of paper you've got.
What you said, some accountants can't even manage their own budget.
True. Yeah, that's true. Look, I've got a very, very good friend of mine that is an extremely good cinematographer. He sits in a helicopter all day long, taking the most amazing images and is paid extremely well from an extremely large company in America, um, and lives in LA, in a very nice place, and all the rest of it. But you know what? He dropped out at our equivalent of grade 10, which is just before high school. But he went and knocked on the door of quite a few companies in the movie industry and said, I want to work. I want to work. I want to work. I want to work. It took him a couple of years, but now he's making a freaking fortune because he was just smart enough to go, I know what you want. I know how to do it. And, he spends his half his life flying around the helicopter taking absolutely amazing stuff for, all right, I'll say it, Disney. Um, and it's not about the piece of paper. It's just, you've got to know what you want. You've got to go for it and all the rest of the stuff. And you've got to kick doors down, and we've got to get back to that. The pieces of paper aren't worth crap a lot of the time. You know, it's, you've got to prove to your CEO, whatever, that you can do what you can say you can do, But on the other flip side of that, you've also got to be given the chance to say, all right, I can hammer this nail into this bit of wood and all the rest of the stuff, or I can tighten this bolt. I can shoot this shot on a particular movie or whatever. You've got to be given the chance. We've also got to the point where we block out people. We don't give people a chance to prove themselves. So there's two sides to the coin. And I will shut the hell up now.
Shut up. And Graham give yeah, I agree to Graham that the coaching of both zero for the future or as an engineer invest in this education can improve their future different. It is. But there's a skill in the guy that pushing a broom effortlessly into an engineer too. So we cannot really tell who and who. North Korea is a nice place to work. Accountancy sometimes does not add up from grave. Actually, I do begrudge the big money people get in the entertainment industry. I mean, the high end are way overpaid. Right? Entertainment industry is where to gain money fast and big. But what is in return? You don't have private personal life. Everything you do, someone see you. Yeah. It's like you lose your privacy to gain that money. If he works for Disney, then he's getting paid very nicely. Well, hopefully he signed what? Well, hopefully he signed the contract to receive royalties rather than upfront payment. Yeah. So everybody, they're all quiet
Oh,
now.
okay. Yeah, sorry, I'm back. I had to go and grab a Coke Zero and have a pee. Who was it that said contracts received?
Mhm.
Okay, no, that's not the one.
This one, cream.
Oh crap.
Actually, upper crust, the big money people get in the entertainment industry. I mean, the high end are way
Yeah,
over.
okay, yeah, that was the one. I was still listening, but I had to go and pee. Turn the mic off.
Mhm.
I don't work in that part of the entertainment industry. I'm just middle class, you know. I'm just a dumb
But do you
engineer.
agree, Chris? If
Um,
those you the high paid being an actor, all right, for example, an actor or an actress, you get
Look,
paid
it
big. You
depends,
can.
but in general, you know, if you look at them over their usable lifespan, most actors, actresses, and stuff like that, you know, they get paid reasonably well. You know, okay, it's higher than most of us and all the rest of it. You know, you see you know, the figures that are thrown in the media and stuff like that. They were paid, you know, X amount for this movie, X amount for that movie, and stuff like that. But they do nothing in between. You know, they got a nice big house and you know, and all the rest of it. But they've got huge payments and
Mm,
stuff in between as well. You know, by the time they get into their 60s and 70s and stuff like that, when they can't get a movie role and stuff like that, there's a
mm.
lot of money outgoing and stuff like that. You know, that's the
And
actor
they
side
lose
of it.
their privacy too, right? Because
Absolutely.
they
Absolutely.
lose their
Yeah.
privacy.
I
You
would
know,
argue that they that's what they want. Like, yeah, you lose your privacy, but they want the fame. They want the people to follow them, the
some of them,
paparazzi. And I would say
yeah,
majority of them do. I mean, obviously, I
Mm,
can't even imagine how annoying that would probably be for real. But hey, that's what they signed up for. Everybody knows if you become an actor, especially if you become famous or even semi-famous, you're gonna have fans. That's the
yeah,
way it works.
yeah, okay. I agree with you to a point there, mate. I work with a lot of them on sets and stuff like that. Um, and the ones that make a lot of noise are the ones that, you know, you're referring to. They're the ones that make it to the media and stuff like that. You take a lot, you know, probably 80% of the other actors in real life that you don't hear about, you know, that are living their lives. They've been married for 20, 30 years. They got two or three kids and all the rest of it. They're boring as crap, but they're the great actors. You know,
mm,
they don't make the media because they don't do anything that makes anything worth, you know, splashing across TMZ or whatever bloody, print. you only hear about the small 10-15% that that play up and do stupid crap and all the rest of the stuff. They don't last long.
Mm.
You know, the people in the movie industry and stuff like that, the people that are in it for the long haul, the Tom Hanks and stuff like that, the people that have been married, they got kids and all the rest of it. How much do you hear about them? Nothing. You know what? Because they do nothing wrong. They're normal people like you and me. They just do what they do. You know,
Mm.
it's the media just sucks the life out of everybody. That's why I will not watch TV because you know, the media is just sucks the life out of anybody that pops up. It's called the tall poppy syndrome.
But
If you stick your head up, you'll get it cut off. And all the rest of the stuff. But there's a good 80% of the people, actors and stuff like that just simply get in there. They work their asses off. They do their job. They go home with their wives and their kids and all the rest of it, and they're just happy campers. They don't make the media. That's not newsworthy. You know, there's 10-15% worth that do stupid crap and that, oh wow, put that on TV, you know. So that's why they get a bad
well,
rap.
do you see this that today you see them so happy, they live a good life, they're so happy, they have perfect partner, they're living a good life. Like the next day you will hear, oh, this one get into drugs. She has this kind of miserable life. TV. It's just like it's the total opposite of the person you saw on the screen, like the person they are leaving behind the scene.
Yeah, that's right. But like you said, it's only the low points, the stuff that's media worthy that actually gets printed and all the rest of it. Hey, we've all got problems of some sort and all the rest of it. But do you think the local TV companies are going to come around and go a problem when you can't pay your electric bill or whatever for whatever reason, or it's just
Yeah.
like, yeah, no, it doesn't work like that. It's because you got a name or a label attached to you. That's how
Mm.
you. That's how you get into the media. You know, it's not because you want to. It's because you know. It's just like, oh wow, you're in a movie. It's just like, it's hard to explain, but
Mm.
once the media gets a hold of you, they want to know everything about you. And when you become boring, it's just like they let you go. And they're the smart people,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
And
you're
80,
referring
80
to hold on, if you don't mind, real quick here. I'm gonna interject. You're referring to media. I'm talking about actors, generally speaking. Here, they want the
Mm-hmm.
fame. They want the fame. They want the fans. They may not necessarily want the bad press. Yeah, some of them probably do. They probably generate
Yeah.
it for fakeries. But I'm saying, if you want to become an actor, there's going to be a percentage of people that are just going to follow you, it, for good or bad, right? And you're signing up for that. You're signing up for that status. You're signing up for that potential fame. Either,
Mm-hmm.
you might be right. I've only worked in the Hollywood thing for a very short time. I was out there in the LA area for a little while. But I completely saw that people just want that fame over there. I think you just got to know that going in.
mm,
Now, whether
mm,
you want to take advantage of it and put yourself out there every day, say like The Rock or Kardashians or some other bullshit. But
yeah,
typically,
yeah.
people do want, if you want to become an actor, or whatever, you want some
Look,
level of
yeah, no,
fame and status and followers.
I agree 100% with you, mate. Yeah. I mean, it's like the center of the earth. There's lava, and then there's a crust. There's the crust that comes and goes. There's the Kardashians and all the rest of the crap. But there's the core that just keeps rolling and doing their thing. You don't hear much from them, but you just go, oh wow, in my case, I'm cutting a movie or I'm working on or whatever, or you guys see a movie and go, damn, that was fantastic. But you don't hear any fluff either side, oh, they're on drugs,
Mm-hmm.
or they're they're whatever, their marriage is broken up and all the rest, because they're not. They're just normal people that are working their asses off. They happen to be in the movie industry or the media or whatever. There's a small
Yeah.
crust layer on top that are just looking for anything to get into the media, be it good, bad, or otherwise.
Mm. This is what crimes. That's why people here love Manny Pacquiao. Sure, he has made bank, but he also gives a lot away to ordinary folks. Yeah, sure he did, Graham, but politics is not good for Pacquiao. That's all
Yeah,
I can
I don't,
say.
I don't know, Timmy. I don't, I haven't followed Manny enough other than to know that he's great at beating the crap out of people, and he tried to get into politics. So you're probably the expert on that one.
Politics is not for him. That's all I can say. I couldn't say more. I couldn't say more. You guys know what is happening, so professionals, person generals, gotten out of control. Oh, that's it. But guys, I hate to say this, but we have to end. It's already 12:30 in my time.
Oh, come on, Timmy. We're just getting started.
It was 3 hours and 30 minutes. Hey. Oh
Oh,
gosh.
I'm just kidding. Bloody hell, it's bloody
Yeah, but
2:30
I'm
in the
so
morning
thankful
here.
to have you all here, guys, tonight. And chasing
No, this is
tail, I think he go back to sleep.
No, I've been here listening.
Oh,
yeah,
I thought
no.
that's why I said he has those kind of selective hearing.
Yeah, chasing tail. We can hear you breathing. Don't worry, mate.
He has that skills. So that's why Yaz is
Funny.
calling him the BG King.
I was
Yeah.
just soaking in what everybody was saying. So
Yeah. 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 My
Yeah.
BFF thinks highly of you. Thank you very much. And
Oh, thank you so
lost
much, Chris,
lost.
for joining us tonight.
Yeah. No, I
Us.
wasn't. I was just going to drop in and say g'day
Mm-hmm.
and head off to
But
bed.
you
But I
stay.
know.
And you're here now. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
don't worry, Chris. Your
Yeah.
bed will still be calling you in another hour.
No doubt about that, mate.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Spanky messaged me about an hour ago and said, "Oh, that's it. I'm done. I'm going to bed." I'm like, "Oh my god!"
Oh,
Oh my goodness me, that's funny. Thanks, Timmy. Thanks,
thank you,
Leon,
Chris, for joining us
and
tonight.
Lost and
Uh-huh.
Nomad, and
Uh,
Chasing Tail, and Timmy, and
Yeah, it was good
mm-hmm.
talking to you. Nice to meet you on
ET.
the virtual world here. I'm gonna
Yeah,
jump
Oh,
off
well, it
yeah.
because
is.
I'm
It is a
still working
virtual
here, so
world.
I'm gonna go
Bruce.
go
Thank
go
Yeah.
slave away from my shekels.
Yeah. Yeah. Me
Thank
too.
you, Lost.
Yeah.
No,
Thank
no
Thank
you,
you,
problem.
Lost,
guys.
for joining us.
You have a good one.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
No worries, Timmy. All right, you take care, everybody. I'm
Thank you, everyone. Yeah, it's a good chat tonight, but it's too late for me. And thank you so much, Chris, for joining us tonight. And E.T., Kuya Bruce, Graham, Chris S. Who else are here earlier? Leon that joins the panel earlier. Armani was here earlier, Richard. Thank you so much, Armani. Eater! Thank you always. Stephen Lowe was here earlier. Kenny and Lazy Larry Lee. Mike Whitcomb was here earlier. Tatay Mako. Thank you, Tay. Who
Deborah,
else is
Mama
here?
Yaj,
Ate Deborah, Mami Yad, Sis Angel, Sis Jen, Sissy Bell, Bernard, and Regelin. Regelin was here earlier. And who
yes,
else is the other one? I don't know. The Pangit Legs Bones. Who is that? I don't know who is he.
the McEast Lens.
Yeah, Kenny. It's Kenny. Chris is. Thank you so much. And who else are here earlier? I couldn't.
Mike Whitcomb.
Yeah, I did. I couldn't. You're welcome, Sister Wasabi. Cheeky Kuya Bruce. Thank you so much. We had a good live tonight, guys. So until
So,
next time, see you again next time. We're about to end the stream. Bye bye. Thank you so much. Adrian was here earlier, yeah. This is Funky. Thank you. Until next time. Bye bye.